And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 197. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. And I hope you guys had a great day as well. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. About just a little bit into this episode of the MSK show, we're going to be covering just 2 topics tonight, because I know sometimes we end up covering like 3 or 4, and Bob just loves going on and on for 30 minutes ranting, and everyone loves it. But some nights you guys go off too hard and my brain is fried. And I'm like, these guys are saying all the correct things. But if I was actually intact and I didn't, I should have drank coffee before doing these shows, I would feel a whole lot better. But, jokes aside, we have 2 topics tonight. We're going to be, talking about half of Avengers Doomsday cast in one of the videos. And the second video, we're going to be going over Disney Snow White's box office disaster for week 2, and I can't wait to go over that because I love basically kicking a woman while she's down and basically just telling her, you suck, you piece of shit. I'm joking. But no, she did deserve this because she's an actual insufferable piece of shit. And it was crazy. There was a person kind of close to the situation told her that too. You're an insufferable piece of shit. I'm paraphrasing that.
Where he MSK?
Like, yes.
You know that you are also an insufferable piece of shit, right?
But it's not Tuesday.
And he doesn't have hundreds of millions of dollars on the line yet.
Unless I become a filthy rich billionaire by selling off my ideas to Microsoft, then I could be a filthy rich millionaire, actually. But yeah, we're going to do intros and really quick here and then get into the show, honestly. Our featured guest tonight is Alexander Trapp. He actually has his own YouTube channel. We're going to have a one-on-one on this Friday coming up, 9:30 p.m. PST. And you guys hopefully are going to be there to enjoy that. Alexander obviously is Black. I hired another Black man to be on the show because people always say, you only hire white people. And it's like, Warren is a DEI hire. He's Black. Laps Comic Fan is Black from the waist down. Gray dated a Black girl. Bob dates a Black girl. Like, all guys, it's literally just me. I always call out Black women on their bullshit. That's just what I do here. But Alexander's our newest hire. So yeah, man, you got a big contract. $50 million for 4 years. What are you going to do with your money, man?
First of all, some proof. Hi, you see, I am Black and I do exist. I'm not just a drawing. And second of all, I'm going to blow all of the millions on hookers and blackjack. So there you go.
So no sex in that? No, like putting your mouth on a hooker's butthole, sucking your shit out?
Now we're just going to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
True.
That's all
my dad.
Hi, son. I came back with the milk.
Wow. Well, my dad's white and he left for Skittles. So you missed out.
Dang it. I got the message mixed up. I'm sorry. Got the wrong cue card.
This is wrong. Bob is putting some wrong continuity out there. Hi, Emily. Laps Comic, what's up, man? Yeah, as you guys know, Tuesday, me and Laps Comic Fan have our show. And then to make up for Friday's show, since Lunchbox Warren got called into work, we're going to do the episode on Tuesday, later on tomorrow. So we have also Wednesday's panel show, and then we have Thursday with me and Warren again, and then we have Friday, obviously, that's booked too. So we got a long week of booked episodes for the MSK show, and we're at this point, after this episode, we're 2 episodes away from hitting 200 episodes. That's crazy, But keep in mind, we haven't hit our goal yet. Our goal for this year is 300 episodes. But my ultimate goal is hitting that coveted 1,000 mark. I need those 4 digits in there. I need that 100. And then I can't wait till after episode 1,000. So when I say the episode number, because I know a lot of people like that, I can go episode 1,000 and Juan. I'll finally be able to do it. My dream. But we'll start with intros and then we'll get to having some fun with the show. Gray, I know your life is kind of sucky right now because some stuff happened, but it's okay, man. How is it better this week? What are you going to do this week to make it better, man?
Yeah, that's a good question. Things are great. I'm basically living MSK's dream. My wife broke her leg, so that is kind of his fantasy, a woman that can't run away from him and is forced to like stay in his house. But it's not all it's cracked up to be, MSK. You do have to do some work. But what can I say? The sun is shining. It's a great day.
So hope your wife is feeling better. I know you said she has to go in for surgery. Did that ever happen yet, or is it still in the process?
Yeah. It was last Thursday.
It was last Thursday.
It was uneventful, which is their way of saying it was successful.
That's good. That's good. As long as she's doing okay. So is she like hyped up on pain meds? Because I know after surgery people get those a lot. And
man.
Really? Oh, okay.
Like it scares me, like her pain tolerance, because I would be using this as a vacation to just do all the drugs they prescribe me, and then I'd be calling them and saying I need more. But no, man, like she isn't taking any of it. Like I'm not kidding.
Really?
She popped
That's
2
crazy.
Tylenol and like that's it. It is.
Alien. That's what if she's taking them when you're at work behind your back, like just?
Hey, man, I took them first. She can't. No. She's awesome. What can I say? But it scares me, her pain tolerance. I realize she is.
I'm glad she's doing
much
okay. That's
stronger
awesome.
than I am. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I would too. We're talking like fun size, like the Halloween ones. Yeah, that makes sense. I would leave the show for that.
Those fun size ones have like 10 pieces in them. Am I not worth the bigger bag with like 50?
You're right. You're not quite a 10 piece. For like half of one of those, I think I'd leave the show.
Jeez. Lap says, of course, my show is on April Fool's Day. Yeah, that's our Tuesday show we do every week is on April Fool's Day. Oh my God. So I'm going to have to come up with the best fucking story of my life for April Fool's Day. It's going to happen, guys.
Kathleen Kennedy is your new sex slave. There you go. That's it.
Okay. We're not the Democratic Party. We don't like slaves here. Okay. Hopefully, remember Republicans, they abolished it. Democrats wanted to keep it. Fun fact is no one ever likes to tell people that, that's the party of slavery. But nevertheless, we'll get into that later. Now we have Kathleen Cartman making an appearance again.
Oh, wow. Kathleen Cartman.
Kathlena.
Yes. Hello.
Oh, shit.
You just had that at the ready, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, he mentioned it, so I had to bring her up.
Oh, shit. Oh, gosh. Oh, shit. One of these days for these episodes of the show that happens on Monday, I want to do a format just on maybe once a month instead of doing topics. I want to do like hot take, cold take, where every person has to get one of them. It's a format I'll explain later on down the road to you guys in DMs. But Alexander, what's up, man? Our featured guest. How was your day, man?
It was pretty chill, and happy that it was that way because last week was not chill at all.
What happened, man?
I ran out of one of my medications. It's an opioid. Don't take opioids, kids, if you can avoid it. And when you run out of that, you go through a horrible withdrawal symptoms, and it was pretty bad for a couple of days till I got my meds refilled. So I have them, and now I'm back to what passes for normal for me.
That's good. Yeah, It's crazy is that we're all just addicted to drugs. Black people are addicted to drugs. White people are addicted to drugs. But I've never did crack in my life. Maybe I should change that this year. Just do a stream doing crack for the first time.
Yeah, you should do a crack stream.
Bob doesn't believe me.
No, I do believe you. That's the thing.
I'm just pointing out.
I believe that you might do a crack stream.
Hey man, if life gets boring enough, might as well just start doing drugs. Might as well become a hardcore drug addict. Just start doing meth and doing fucking what is it? Blow out of a hooker's ass or something. Just might as well.
You gotta notch those off on like your to-do list, especially the hooker's ass thing. I'm sure that's been a long time like dream goal for you.
Well, Lap says drugs don't discriminate, my dude. That is true. That is true. Neither do kids. It's crazy how people always say kids are this, and that. Kids do not honestly give a fuck what race you are, as long as you're generally nice to them, and if you're the parents, you take care of them pretty well. It's crazy how like when you get older, they try instilling all that race bullshit into you. But as a kid, guys, I'll be honest here, whether someone was black, white, Asian, or whatever, I truly honestly didn't care. But like when you get older, people have to understand there are specific things aligned with certain races. There just are, and it's people say, "Is that racism to bring it up?" Not really. It's not racist to acknowledge objective reality. It's not, because if you don't acknowledge objective reality with people that say certain things, like, okay, there was this. I know people like watch Charlie Kirk. So there was a short on his company called Turning Point USA, where a lady was like she couldn't define what a woman was, and it's like fucking hell. But then she defined herself as a woman. It's like, this is the same people that are like, you can't define things, and it's like, no, things have a defined definition because that's how we classify them. That's just acknowledging what a reality is. It's just a clear observation of it. So if someone is telling you shit like, well, man, dude, the sky is red, and you're sky cis for not believing the sky's red, dude. Yeah, you're a fucking bigot for not believing the sky is red. And it's like, it's blue. But like, no, but like, can't things change? And it's like, things are allowed to change when there's, I would say, enough research to kind of back up it changing. So like the whole Troon thing, right? So people say like there's science behind that, but the science is not reflective of our reality, though. I believe it if it's reflective of what's going on, right? That would make sense, right? That's why we have scientists to do it. But I digress, because I'm a genius, and my 200 IQ would explode on a lot of people if I really went down that rabbit hole. Bob, how you doing, man? You see any good movies this past week? Because I know it's dry at the box office. Wait, did you see The Working Man? That was a Jason.
No, actually, I didn't see that. I went to go see The Chosen: Last Supper Part 1. I'm a big fan of the Chosen, and and that audience has always been really good to my videos. So when I put my review out, it's done pretty well. So
Nice.
So that was good. Then of course I'm back here today, and after
2 movies.
What's that?
They split The Last Supper up into 2 movies now?
Well, no, what they did is that The Chosen itself it's an actual show. So they got the episodes are getting a theatrical release. So they put the first 2 episodes out last Thursday. This Thursday they're going to release the next 3, and then the next Thursday they're going to release the last 3. So the whole season will get a theatrical release, and that'll all lead up right up to Easter. So But
Laps is saying, it sounds like a long dinner, but
yeah. It's actually kind of cool the way they've been doing it. They're starting each episode with a portion of the Last Supper. I was actually watching Jeremy John's his review of it, and he was pointing that out, how they're beginning each episode with a portion of the Last Supper, and then it kind of goes back into the episode telling kind of the build up to that. So far it was a pretty good start for the season.
Yeah, that's awesome. Glad you guys are doing your own things out there. Gray needs to put some fucking content on his channel. Man's content is a Sahara Desert. Nothing on that shit. Put out some more stuff, Gray. Come on, what are you doing, man? What's been going on, dude? You've been too white recently. I need to see you start tackling black cinema. Actually, that's what you should do. Imagine being a white guy reviewing black movies. We just review 12 Years a Slave first. I need you to do that one. Just review that, and then review Uncle Tom's Cabin, then review Mary Jane Pittman. Okay, review any Martin Luther King biopic.
When do I get to the Tyler Perry movies?
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. It's like, no, dude, you got to start with the Medea movies. That's what you start with, and then
Didn't Denzel Washington do fucking Malcolm X? Remember he did Malcolm X. He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that was the early '90s. Yeah.
Damn, they don't make them like they used to. Holy shit. God damn. Denzel Washington, Malcolm X. Didn't Jimmy Fox did Ray Charles, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Did he not win the awards for that? Because I don't think he did.
He did, but I don't remember the last time I watched an award show. So
what? Just imagine that. If he ever does a face review, he's like, hey guys, this is what I look like, and it's the whitest guy ever reviewing the blackest movies out there. Imagine if Gray just reviewed like Roots.
Do you think I've never shown my face on the internet? I used to have my face on your show until I realized what your show was. Then I came up with the avatar.
Nice.
I like American Gangster.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was with Denzel.
Yeah. What was the one where the gangster stomps that guy's mouth on the concrete? It's like American History X, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the one. Yeah, I watched that. God, those movies are gruesome. Can you guys
consider that one a black movie?
No.
I mean, it's dark, but I don't know, man.
It's dark. Can you guys ask Alexander If I have his channel right, I think that's him. Yeah, if you see a black guy, I'm pretty sure they stand out, you know? Gosh.
Yeah, let me do another face reveal again. Hi there, everybody. I'm real. I'm not just a character today.
God, Lap says he'll do it. Just imagine that. I want to see the shock you cultivating this like pure black audience just to have them know you're fucking white reviewing all their movies. Holy shit, that would be the absolute biggest Uno card checkmate ever. Friday was my favorite movie when I was a teen. Man, go. I don't think they could make a comedy like that anymore. But Friday's a funny ass movie. All of them are funny. I think the first one is just the best one. I would say the second one and third one you can coin toss them. They're both still good in their own way. I think the third one's a little bit better, but the second one's jokes, they're all really good. Just damn, man. I wish they would do a fourth one, but I know they really kind of can't now because the dad is dead. That fucking sucks so much ass. Like, fuck, man. All the good people dying. Like, that was one of the ones that took me by surprise too. I keep forgetting the guy's name. Witherspoon. He ended up dying and passing away, and fucking hell, he did a great job in Boondocks. He did a great job in every movie.
John Witherspoon.
It was John Witherspoon. Yeah, he did a good job in every movie. I can't remember a movie.
Dude, I love that
where
guy.
I felt like he. Keep in mind everything he's been a part of, like voice acting and all the Wayne Brothers show. There wasn't a movie I ever
even
felt like
that stupid Wayans Brothers show. He was the funniest part of that thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't remember a movie he ran it down. Like he actually just fucking gave up and didn't try. Every movie I felt like he really just gave it his all.
Yeah, he never phoned anything in. He really did give all of his energy into everything he was in.
Damn. Like when he said that his big break really was Friday, he's like, everyone just kept asking about Friday. His Friday was funny as hell. That's a funny as hell movie. That's a good movie. You know, like certain parts of it. Oh my God, you just look back now when the fat girl gets out of the fucking car and tries to talk to Smokey, and he's like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
And then she farts as she gets out of the. Craig beforehand is like, man, ask if she got a friend. And she has no hair. Oh God. Oh God. Laps reviews Malcolm X and Friends. Oh geez, man. Hi, Miss Sparkles. How you doing? So that's pretty much it. You know, there's going to be other things we'll be talking about on Wednesday's panel show as well. So the things that we didn't get to on today's episode, we'll just get to them on Wednesday, as far as like the new shit that John Boyega is talking about, because, you know, he's not been relevant in pretty much anything he's ever did outside of Star Wars. So he has to obviously talk shit. And that's the only thing he's ever gotten credit for.
Attack the Block was awesome. And he got a raw deal in the Star Wars thing.
Wasn't he in the Jordan Peele movie recently? Was he in that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I felt like he was in a recent movie. I felt like
I watched Don't once, but I don't think he was in that one.
He was. I swear someone said he was in a UFO one. Oh no, there was someone else.
No, he wasn't in that one.
Okay,
yeah.
I've never watched that guy's movies. Like it was like don't. It was like fucking hell. Us. And what was the first? I remember Us and the UFO.
Get Out was the first one.
Get Out. There was Get Out. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Nope is the name of the other movie with the UFO.
Okay,
I thought that one was overrated.
Yeah, I think I just called it.
Yeah,
Nope.
I found Nope to be a bit pretentious, and I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about Us. The last two weren't for me.
So recently, you know, as a little fast topic, nothing for the actual show. This is something that we went over on the show collectively all together. And this is something that I wanted to bring up really quickly because I feel like some of these problems aren't exactly bad. And I agree with most of this. But it also, like, as you guys have pointed out when we've talked on the show, it also undermines certain things that play out as well. So, you know, like movie theaters are obviously trying to get more people back in, right? That's the thing. It's like, how do we get more people to come back, right? So the obvious ones are make better movies, right? So we'll tackle that one in a little bit here when we're going to go over this bullet point. So this is obviously tackled from someone kind of retweeting a post on New York Post on X. And these are three things he brought up, right? And this is not an actual, you know, video we're going to make it happen, but this is something I want to talk about just really quickly. So he said there's 3 points because this is the previous tweet right here. It says, movie theaters are trying everything to bring audiences back, from pickleball to cocktail bars. Now, hey, I love me some good old alcohol at the bar, not them cock. I'm not gay. I am straight as hell, you know? But he says, make movies matter. 90-day theatrical window, fuck streaming. So I agree with this. I think if there's compromise in movies, and it has to be something where, like, okay, we want to put it out on our streaming service to get new subscribers, but you also want to kind of like level your negotiations with the actors and talent involved with the movie. You don't have to make it 90 days. We don't live in that time period anymore. Make it at least 60 days, 45 minimum. But then it used to be that for a little bit. It used to be like at least 30 days. They would at least give you a month. I remember early on, it was a month and maybe some change. At least it would be out there. You get that theatrical exclusive window. Now it's literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not even a month, that new blockbusters just go straight to a streaming service, you know? So yeah, you need to make the theatrical windows longer because it gives people that incentive that they really want to go to the theater and cherish that exclusive theater experience with that movie. Because if you tell enough people that these new movies are coming out on streaming within about 2 to 3 weeks, why would you as a consumer go? Because the inherent line right there is the studio does not value the theater experience. In every year at CinemaCon, because CinemaCon's going on right now when we're doing the show, at CinemaCon, because we've heard the quotes and we've like read them and stuff like that, they always go, we really value the theaters. That's what all these business guys say. We value the theaters and we value the experience. No, you don't. You don't value the theaters because you fuck them over consistently. And the theater owners have to bend over and take it because, well, they're the theater owners. They have to kind of bend over and take it for everything. So that's just kind of what we end up having. But that would be my thing, right? You need to have it at least be 45 to 60 days.
Consider yourself a theater owner then, MSK?
Not necessarily, because I'm not Diddy. But I would say you need to keep it about 45 days at this point. Give me a month and a half. Then I could justify you putting it on streaming. But the reason why people don't really go to the theaters anymore is because everyone kind of collectively knows that big blockbuster is going to be on a streaming service you're probably paying for. So why would you go to the theater? Why would you waste all that money going to the theater when you know that shit's going to be there eventually? Some people will just wait. That's just how people are. It didn't used to be that way until they made it that way. They made people have that innate mindset for streaming that they'll just wait for it. That's all the studio's fault. It's no fault of the customer. Second one is cut prices, no tickets over $12. That one you really kind of can't really do anything about. That's a lot of business and economic stuff I don't want to go over right now on the show, but like that's completely something that isn't really the fault of the customers. That's more of like, well, they have to make their money somehow. And keep in mind, that's more like a studio thing. People don't know this. Theaters make most of their money selling you like chicken wings and popcorn,
the concessions,
and Starbucks, right? The ticket prices are more or less so mandated by the actual studio for the most part, from what I know. It could have changed recently, but that one I really can't fault them on. But
a lot of that has to do with their budgets being out of
whack, you know? So they have to charge you $15 a ticket if my fucking movie budget's $200 million. And the other thing to mention here with this is like, theaters, what they need to do is start movies on time. You guys have kids. You guys have a life, you know? When you go to a movie theater, and that shit says, like, we'll say for EST, for, like, Bob and Greg, because they're EST. Let's say a movie for me starts at, like, 4 o'clock. For you guys, it starts at 7, right? If that shit don't start in 10 minutes, I'm already angry. Not at the movie. That's theater. You need to start movies on time. People have kids. They got school nights. They got spouse issues they got to deal with, you know, going to sleep and all that stuff. People literally do not have time to wait in a theater 30 extra minutes without the movie starting with ads and all their bullshit.
Yeah.
All those trailers you probably already watched at home. It's been happening for many years. Play 2 trailers and some ads and you're good to go. You don't got to be starting movies 30 minutes in. 30 minutes
sometimes
in.
The pickleball game runs long. I mean, come on.
Okay, 15 minutes. I'll give you 15 minutes.
No, I think the trailers are fine. It's the ads that are the problem because they run the ads prior to
they do
showtime, and then they run the ads for another 10 minutes after the showtime starts, and then you've still got the trailers.
It's like
the ads should be simply before the showtime, and let the showtime be for trailers and the actual movie.
Yeah.
It's like, how many times do I need to see a trailer for sign up for Movie Phone or whatever for today? And then the lights dim and it's sign up for Movie Phone. It's like, I get it. I don't want to sign up for this. Stop.
The third one is make more movies. That one I disagree with. They're already doing that. People just don't care to see them. I shit you not, people. People on Twitter will say the most absolute tone-deaf, retarded things and think it's an actual point. This is happening. People just don't care to go see them. You're not going to ever tell me there's not more movies coming out. Whether they're good or bad is up to you to decide. That's a you personal thing. But there are more movies coming out. People just don't have that inherent like, oh, I want to go to the cinemas and see this. Now we'll get into that a little bit later, but I think that's just stupid right there. Give everyone a new option every weekend. This already happens though. This happens a lot. This is just not a thing. This already happens though. People just don't care for your options. Now, this is the other thing is like people ask for other movies to come out, but they don't watch them. Like a bunch of people at least on social media, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or wherever you interact with, people always say, I don't want to watch a sequel. I don't want to watch a remake. I don't want to watch a whatever in a big name insert franchise here, right? But then movies that Gray will talk about, movies that Bob will talk about will come out and you guys just don't watch them. You just don't. The number, it's not even, that's a debatable thing. The numbers prove you don't watch them. So I don't know what people really want though. They want new movies to come out that aren't tied to franchises. They don't watch those, but then they complain about the movies that come out in franchises that are bad. I mean, which I don't disagree with. Those are now not good. I agree with that.
But right there, point 3 is actually part of the problem too, because the new options are not just in theaters. They're on streaming as well. That's part of the problem is that, back when theaters were making tons of money, you didn't have quite the amount of content or original content on streaming like what you do now. Now it's just all over the place. So I could either go to the theater, spend those high ticket prices, or I can watch something else on streaming and wait 2 weeks, and then that movie will be on streaming anyway. So I think all these points kind of go together. It's a combination of all of these. I agree with the 90-day theatrical window. I think that would help theaters. I think it should be a minimum of 90 days. Heck, when I was a kid and we were waiting on the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, I'm dating myself here. But, I'm waiting on the VHS tapes. We were waiting 9 months to a year before the movie came out. So if you didn't watch it in theaters, you missed your opportunity to know what was happening and catch it in on the conversation with everybody else. But as far as point 3 goes, there are too many options because you get one or two new movies every weekend, and yet when you count streaming, you've got several new movies that come on every streaming service during the week as well.
And I think one of the big problems is that these movie companies, they don't see like movies as movies anymore. They see them as content. Content that is eventually going to be on these streaming services. So like the quality of everything just goes further and further down the tubes. I saw it on some post today on Twitter where someone said that essentially like when you're trying to like what these movie studios are doing, when you're trying to make anything into some sort of like new franchise, all you're showing people is that your movie is just like the first part of like a TV series, and it kind of makes people care less because like if you do any kind of like big resolution in a movie, it's just like, well, that's not going to matter because now there's going to be a streaming spinoff service that's going to take place after that, and it's slop.
Yeah. And the other thing to bring up here as well is when we're looking at the numbers for a lot of these movies that come out, like 10 some odd years ago, it's not to say that movies never flopped. I think that's a weird narrative that people like saying a lot. Movies have been flopping in the past. It's just not as consistently as it's been recently. Like movies, back in the day, you could kind of accurately kind of rate how much a movie would get at the box office. It could be a big number, like in the hundreds of millions. Guys, now, if anyone has been noticing, movies kind of struggle just barely making your budget back. And a lot of them struggle with that. That's not good. That means that enough collective people have just kind of sucks to say this, have just given up on going to see movies anymore in the theater. Because that's not just a content problem. That's just an added thing to there. Like a bunch of people that basically went, we don't really just kind of value going to the theater anymore to watch movies. Because a bunch of movies have been struggling. Not just Disney's, not just Warner Brothers. A lot of the studios have. And people keep saying, higher name talent. There's been plenty of movies with big name talent that have also failed. Remember the one that came out back in 2022 with like Christian Bale and Margot Robbie and a few other names, big names here, failed. Like big names can attract people. Very few actors can really do that anymore. Like Dwayne Johnson, kind of maybe Tom Cruise Denzel Washington,
Even then, though,
kinda.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
kind of showing that that's not the case. Like even with streaming, so you just had like the Electric State, which is Russo
Yeah, true.
brothers. It's got what's her name who played 11,
Millie
and then
Bobby
Millie
Brown.
Bobby
and
Brown.
Chris
yeah.
Pratt.
Thank you. But I mean, like it's kind of doing no business, and everyone's saying like it's not great. Same thing when you look back at Red One or whatever. I don't
watched
know,
that.
man.
That movie sucks. That movie's trash.
Well,
I liked Red
a lot of
One.
people didn't, but it was
Oh,
really
Bob, we
quick to
love
go to
him.
streaming.
No, it's stupid. I'm not going to say it's a good movie. I'm just
there were
saying
some
I
funny
liked
parts
it.
in it. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, there are going to be times you're going to like a bad movie. That's just one
That's
of the
fine.
cases I happen to like a bad movie, and I'll acknowledge it's a bad movie.
And
I
Gal
just-
Gadot still
it for
can't
some
act
reason.
in that movie. She ran it down hard as hell. I don't think she was even trying to act in that movie. But no, it's one of those things where even with like big talent, it doesn't really attract. Okay, all right, fine. Ryan Reynolds, he can still pull in a crowd. I will give him that. He can still get something there. But I
But
don't
can he really, unless he's playing Deadpool?
Free Guy, how much did that make? How much did Free Guy make, honestly? I don't remember, honestly. Let me see. Free
I
Guy.
think that was during
That
weird
was
times
2021,
too. So I don't know
right?
if that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
thought
I
that
don't-
streaming movie.
Free Guy worldwide did 331.
Okay.
I don't know if
That
that
is
made
one of
any
those that,
profit,
like,
but,
we-
you know.
We kind of got back to going to the theaters like right around that time, if I remember right.
That's what I was gonna explain too. I'm glad you brought that up. It felt like when theaters kind of first started opening, the numbers were bigger, but now as that certain virus period is over, it feels like numbers have just flatlined. Like I do blame
they
Warner
kinda
Brothers
have.
a lot for that. Like Warner Brothers, remember when they did the day and date streaming thing?
Wait,
Yeah.
why Warner Brothers?
No,
Why
wait.
are they to blame for this?
They put their entire theatrical slate in theaters.
And
And
then,
you
and I
know-
get what you're saying, MSK, because they did that, and that was the year the theaters were already open back up, and yet they were
Yeah.
still releasing it the same day.
Only one
Like-
of them made money, which was Godzilla vs. Kong 2, and I think Dune did pretty well for them. And was
Didn't
that the
Mortal Kombat do okay?
Did it?
It
I
kind
think-
of did. It
Kinda
I
I'm
think-
not
did.
saying
Yeah.
it made it. I'm not saying that it.
no,
broke
not
the
it wasn't
bank
like
or
a
anything, but
blockbuster, but it. I think
Yeah.
I think it broke even. Just
I think
a
you're
little.
right.
You have
Yeah,
to-
you're right. Yeah.
You have to kind of think about it though. Like, how do you make money off of any of the streaming? It seems like everything that Disney
Yeah.
released to streaming did nothing. It didn't really get in a whole bunch of subscriptions. None of these subscription models seem to be paying off. So the only way that they can make money is kind of theatrical release, and then they're really hoping for that opening weekend.
You
You have to kind of be like Squid Game. Squid Game was not something that cost like $100 to $200 million. It was
Mhm.
it was a show that was done in Korea, and they don't have the gigantic budgets that the West does. So you have to rely more on good writing, good directing, and not being as expensive. I don't know how much the series cost in terms of like United States dollars, but I do know it wasn't a Godzilla versus Kong level kind of movie. And so you have to build up that kind of like word of mouth, like organic audience appeal, and not just throw hundreds of millions of dollars at a project and like just hope you win the lottery, because that's what these studios have turned to do. And it's just, we're going to put all of our big IP franchises and just like bank on people signing up for these services, and maybe we'll make our money back. And it doesn't work.
Yeah, I was going to add to you guys' point, which is the reason
Mhm.
why I blame Disney and Warner Brothers for it first is because Bob Chapek put out brand new Pixar movies that were made for theatrical experiences on Disney Plus, and that basically kind of signified to people, well, why do I value Pixar movies in theaters if he's just going to give them to us on a streaming service? Warner Brothers didn't value their movies either. I mean, a lot of their directors got very mad at them. Nolan hasn't still
Yep.
forgiven them for what they did to him on Tenet. Remember, they had to pay all those back-end deals for all those movies that they put out. I mean,
Scarlett
Halloween Ends,
Yep.
day and date release date. Now that one you can kind of get away with because horror movies are made on like not as much money as the other ones are. So I think they kind of at least inked away with a decent amount of profit potentially on that one. But still, why?
It
do you-
doesn't seem like it's just a Warner and Disney thing though. Like
Universal-
Doug
I'm saying
Liman
Universal
got
did it
screwed
too.
over twice.
Yeah.
So Doug Liman did I think it was Instigators or something like that for Apple, but right before that he did the Roadhouse remake. Both of them he was like guaranteed that they're going to have theatrical release, and they just fucked him over on that. Both
God,
went straight to streaming.
Hi DK, what's up, man? It's just the studios made people feel like they didn't value their movies in theaters. So like why should I? I mean, I will always buy the theater experience. I love going to theaters. I love like when you go to a movie now, like the actors will like, at least the main ones will kind of thank you for going. I know people haven't got that. It's like, yeah, sometimes I went to some of these movies and the actors have been like, yeah, we thank you for coming here. I know it's kind of performative bullshit because given how most guys are assholes, but hey, you know, makes me feel like I'm enjoying it more. Like M. Night Shyamalan's newest movie, Trap, man, that was a steaming pile of dog shit. And I can understand why people seeing new movies would go, man, these are bad. Like, I understand that if you saw like 10 new movies and they were all shit, you go like, damn, I don't think anything else is good out there. Because I will say the quality of movies have given people a reason to not go and watch them anymore. Like, the quality of movies have been very bad recently. Now, I'm not saying all of them, and it is a subjective thing. I understand that, but I'd argue that more movies you watch now are bad than good. At least in my experience, I watched a lot of recent stuff. So, you know,
you see, and that also plays into all of the points that were being made earlier: the theatrical window, the ticket price, you know, all of that stuff plays into it. And then you add the bad movies on top of that, so it becomes a point where people don't want to go to the movies unless it's something they feel is worth spending their time on and spending their money on. So essentially, the movies have become an event type of experience where, okay, I'm not going to go see this movie. I'm not going to go see this movie. I'm going to wait and go see this one because this is the one that's the big one everybody's talking about. So that's the one I need to go see in theaters. So it becomes an event type thing. Like for example, when was it? A couple years ago when the last Mission Impossible dropped, it didn't do as well as they had hoped it did. Why? Because of the very next week, Barbenheimer was coming out.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody was waiting for.
I remember they sandwiched Mission Impossible 7 before 2 bigger blockbusters, and it's like, you just screwed that dude over.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem is that it's become an event where people are going to go to that one specific movie. Like I've talked with several friends, and you know, they got kids, they got jobs, you know, all that stuff. Is like, okay, well, I'm going to have to take time off work to go see this, or go find a babysitter, or it costs money to go out on a date. So I'm going to wait to go to this one.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to that same mentality. Like, all of these things are getting devalued, while at the same time the movie-going experience has become also devalued. And, you know, so it makes people less incentivized to want to go. You know, movies used to be this social thing that we would all do. People with their families, or, you know, people going on dates, whatever. You would go to a movie. It was like dinner and a movie. that was kind of the thing. But it's not now. Now the social thing is to watch it on whatever your streaming platform is, or binge watching episodes if it's something you miss. So that's what society has been conditioned to do now.
Yeah, MSK. Are you saying that it should be more people going to the movies and everything like that? It should be a bigger part of everyone's life. When's the last time you go? Was it when you took that girl and her boyfriend to the movie?
Last time I went was, I think, Brave New World. Yeah, that's the last time I went.
So it was the one.
Yeah, I am planning on going to see more movies this year, but obviously, you know, I've been very busy with more life stuff because I've watched more movies in certain years than others. But it feels like it's a collective thing. Like, people just don't value going to the movies anymore as much. At least the way it used to be. You know, it feels like it's just like, you know, because these numbers are very bad. These are pitiful numbers. I mean, I don't know what's been going on. People just like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just blow my wife's back out with a Netflix and chill movie that we're not even going to listen to. It's okay. I do that too with my wife.
If you're going to talk about that one Netflix and chill movie that we were just talking about, Electric State or whatever, it's like $300 million. Like, they're putting a ton into these streaming movies. So
how could they possibly? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know how you could possibly expect to get anything back for that, but I guess you're not. It's just one of those.
What they hope is that
it's going to be somewhat of a write-off, but entice people to watch your platform. But I don't know. It makes me wonder. I don't know. Why would you put that much into something that you know you're never going to get the money back? I guess it's just kind of a status thing. But the other thing, this year has been way down. I think 2011 is the last one that was this low of a quarter 1 ticket sales. And that's with the $20-25 or whatever. So we'd have to sell less tickets to get the same amount of money. But it feels like the showings this year, there's very few movies that are great. I think by this time last year, we at least had Dune 2. Right? Which
July's usually the biggest month from what I remember.
Yes, but we had a couple of big ones. We had a couple of contenders last year. At least Dune 2, I think that was March.
Yeah,
not only was it the biggest popcorn bucket of the year, but it did get a couple Oscar nods.
Yeah.
Oh, so that thing you said earlier about the streaming service. Well, from what I've read about the streaming services, the companies hope that they sink like $300 million into a project, and they hope that with enough subscriber growth over time, that would eventually kind of pay the movie off, because you essentially get a consistent revenue stream going. So you could dump like $100 million into a movie, but you're going to get that guaranteed money and subscribers. The problem with that is, well, there's other expenses to be paid on a streaming service, like, servers, the actual workers, the writers, producers, and all that stuff. So it doesn't make any sense logically. Like you dump $300 million into a movie, it's like, bro, how many months do you need to make that up over time? And keep in mind, they also operate under the stupid mindset, like the amount of money you're going to get is going to be enough to kind of just pay that off while also paying off other movies you need to pay off too. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. But Netflix can do that because, well, it's Netflix. And why is Paramount streaming, from what I remember? Why the fuck are they streaming at all? Isn't the company about to be bankrupt?
I don't know. I think Paramount's got some pretty good programming, though.
I had Paramount Plus before. It's not bad. It was a fine platform. I was like, I think their interface needs to a little bit updated, but looked fine to me,
Another reason that these companies have shot themselves in the foot is that they're trying to stop the sale of physical media as well. Because you have to remember, that's how things kind of used to work before the advent of streaming. Is you'd have your movie in the theater, for a while, and whether it did good or bad, you had that, and then you could possibly have it release on home video, whether that was VHS, DVD, or Blu-ray. And you could possibly make up some sales along the way there. And they were still doing that up until people wanted to start doing their own streaming services and, not just license their stuff to Netflix. It was like Netflix and Hulu. That was it. That was our streaming service.
Had all the newest movies, and Hulu had like, okay, I missed it on TV.
Yeah.
And then you could just go there. Yeah.
Like, remember how like maybe 15 years ago or so, it was like Prestige TV. That's the era that we're moving into now. Now it's just prestige crap. Because, like what was brought up with the Russo brothers and the Electric State, $300 million into a streaming movie. It just, you can't make any sense of it. And
what about the money they gave Martin Scorsese for his movie? They gave him like what, $20 million for that Gentleman movie that he did a while ago. They gave Michael Bay the same amount of movie for his movie. What was it called? 6 Feet Underground or something like that. Fucking hell, there's too many jokes I can make with that about this man's career.
Gentleman movie?
I forgot what it's called.
Hey, if you were to guess the title of it, what do you think that?
Don't remember. My brain is fried. But I know that Netflix was really just shelling out so much money for high-profile directors because they thought, we get a high-profile director directing a movie, that'll get us more subscribers. But Netflix, do you know that no one will hear about that movie? I don't know if these guys understand this. Patty Jenkins said this a while ago before her 1984 movie came out for Wonder Woman, which was terrible. She said, streaming movies kind of feel like a ghost town. You never hear about them. Even if you get a Martin Scorsese to direct a movie for you on Netflix, who's going to hear about that? And it's debatable, like, are you going to put in the same effort you were going to put into that as if you were to put into a movie that you know is going to be on the big screen worldwide for people? It's like, Michael Bay wasn't trying on that movie. There's no way he was trying on that.
No.
Like, but then again, I am black and good looking for a reason.
I think what's going to end up happening is all of these movie studios, they're going to keep losing money because, like you said earlier, they're banking on these high profile franchises. That's all that they're focusing on, because original content, as sad as it is, unless it has a big time marketing budget behind it, it doesn't sell. So they're going to keep losing money until they're all going to get gobbled up by these tech companies. It's already happened with MGM, with Amazon. Who knows what's going to happen to other places like Paramount? Warner Brothers just seems like it's going to go under any day. And it's really sad that they've bet the farm on James Gunn's Superman, because I want that movie to be good. But if it fails, it's like, that's the end of Warner Brothers. So it's like, who absorbs Warner Brothers? I'm thinking it could be like Apple or something. They're a $1 trillion company. They could. They're doing movies for the fun of it. Go ahead.
I will say this. I think they've needed to be bought for a long time. They have just squandered every level of opportunity they've ever been given.
They have. They absolutely have. They have squandered.
You should be out of business because they gave J.J. Abrams, that fucking hack, $200 million to make DC content for them, and he made nothing.
You should be giving more.
Yep.
That's sad.
But they've got somebody else at the helms now, and it seems like, so everything that I've seen, from the Suicide Squad to Peacemaker to Creature Commandos, it seems like there is actually an idea behind where they're going with this. I don't know, man. I'm willing to give them a chance, but I think if they truly screw up Superman, I don't know. I think sale is probably in their future.
Like, look, they're already like either selling or licensing off Looney Tunes. You know, that's the only way. Like those Looney Tunes movies.
They demolished the last building apparently of Looney Tunes, and it's like, but you kind of felt like that was coming anyway. They haven't did anything with Looney Tunes in forever, honestly. Outside of, I guess you count Space Jam 2 if you want to count that one. Space Jam 2. Oh no, the algae rhythm.
Like they released 2 awful projects, I think, in that same year. It was Space Jam 2 and The Matrix 4. And
I didn't bother watching that one.
Don't do it.
That's awful. I mean,
you might actually blow your brains out.
It's really bad.
It is.
Hey, I like Sucker and Solvatash. Wait, wrong one. But then again, I felt like Warner Brothers didn't care for Looney Tunes. They just did nothing with them for so long. It's like when you know a company hasn't did something with something for so long, you're like, they're about to sell this or fucking do something with it. Like, I'll say this, I just
can't believe what they did to Lola Bunny. It does not make any sense.
The last thing they did with Looney Tunes that was sort of relevant was multiverses, and multiverses is gone.
Oh god, they should. Yeah. Well, speaking of things that will continue to disappoint us, let's get into this first video. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about half of Avengers Doomsday cast is revealed. So Marvel Studios decided to themselves in the year of 2025 on their big giant fucking YouTube channel, they were going to announce this big announcement. We're like, oh, it sounds kind of juicy. You know, the MCU has been doing, arguably, if you've been living under a rock, not very good outside of like insert 3 movies, which have been No Way Home, Guardians 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine, right? MCU's been pretty terrible after Avengers Endgame, because fun fact here, for a lot of people who don't know this, Far From Home is the last movie in Phase 3, and Far From Home is that movie's like trash. So, you know, it's like that joke in Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, when Deadpool said this to Wolverine, you're kind of entering the MCU at a low point right now. I'm just saying that's gonna age like fine wine eventually. But we had this big announcement from Marvel Studios, and it was just a chair. And then on the stream, it just kept panning to chair to chair to chair for 5 fucking hours, boring people to death. That's what Marvel decided to do in 2025, which was pan a fucking camera, hire a cameraman to pan it on chairs with no one there for 5 hours. Holy fucking shit.
Well, can I ask you,
that out of ideas?
Did it get more views than your streams?
I would hope it does. I would hope it does.
Have you considered
millions of subscribers gets more views than here. Now, keep in mind, they tried streaming the Agatha Harkness show that I didn't care to watch because I thought it just looked like shit, honestly. They did a stream of the girls doing an ASMR licking. Oh. That was pretty entertaining. I'm not kidding. Go on Marvel Studios YouTube channel, look up live. They did a stream of ASMR of the girls literally licking knives. I'm not kidding. These people are so creatively bankrupt from their comic books, which have been debatably only good if you read the Ultimate ones recently. The movies have been the Disney Plus MCU shows. Those are pretty much all awful outside of like whichever one people just decide to like. Some people like Loki, some people like WandaVision. Doesn't matter. If you got 1 out of like 10 right, you fucking failed, in my opinion. So Avengers Doomsday, as you guys know, they hired RDJ to come back to play Dr. Doom. Will he play Victor Von Doom? Who knows? Because fuck it, right? Because if you apply any level of logic to Infinity War and Endgame, your brain is going to fry. Why didn't Doctor Strange use the Time Stone against Thanos more effectively? I don't care. Just consume product to get ready for next product, you fucking bitch. So, Avengers Doomsday is going to have a huge cast, you know? Now, this is mostly full of mid. That's the problem, honestly, you know? And for the record, my channel gets millions of views a month, Gray, and the watch time is exploding, honestly.
So this is full of mid? So who's mid? According to MSK, who is mid?
We'll go over the cast right now, but I just want to point out, Marvel, you could do way better than that. 5 hours of fucking looking at chairs. Please tell me that's not the best thing you can come up with in 2025. Please tell me don't ever do that again. Please make something more entertaining. You could have just hired Brie Larson. Did she have a YouTube channel? Brie Larson could have just hired her, just reveal pictures of people. That would have been way more entertaining than panning for chairs, honestly, but whatever. Nevertheless, let's go over this cast. Jesus Christ.
I don't know, man.
Studios. Holy fuck.
Do you know how
dude.
expensive it would be to get Brie Larson to hold up pictures for 5 hours?
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I agree. You're right. Hire Iman Vellani or that bitch who's going to play Ironheart. They ain't got none. They ain't working in nothing. They ain't getting cast in shit. Hire them for something. But you are right.
They should have just showed that minute and 22-second version that they had that they released like after the 5 hour stream. That was literally like a minute 20 seconds, a minute and a half. That was fine. They should have just released that.
What they could have did was they could have did a montage highlight of all of these guys' best moments from their Marvel movies. Paul Rudd is Ant-Man.
But there are no best moments for some of them. So
that's true.
Because some of them, in all fairness, because some of them, their movie hasn't come out yet. You know, like
true.
Thunderbolts. You know, so
I'll be honest here. There's no good moments for James Marsden Cyclops. That guy's garbage. There's no highlights in that one. But like, if you were to show like highlights of all their best moments for the ones you can, that'd be a lot more entertaining. 5 hours of fucking looking at chairs. Is that really the best they could come up with? But
this way, you don't have to license the songs or anything else that's going on in all of those clips. Like, yes, they own the rights to the actual footage, but, you know, the audio could get them additional fees, where this way it's a camera on a chair. They just have to pay for the screen printing on those stupid director's chairs, and then they're good.
That would be hilarious. Disney getting a copyright notice from their own live stream.
Marvel, which is known as the House of Ideas, is now turned into the House of No Ideas. You'd love to see it. All right. Full cast for Avengers Doomsday. Also, this is a correction because RDJ did go on Instagram and say this has not been the full cast revealed yet, because what was revealed after this was basically the people that they also want to sign have not signed on yet. Because I know people said, where's Doctor Strange? Where's Spider-Man or these other guys? Potentially they haven't got them to sign on yet because Spider-Man 4 is coming out around the same time Doomsday and Secret Wars is coming out. I don't know why they wouldn't have Doctor Strange in this. That doesn't make any sense at all. We know Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, is not going to be in this. So those are a few ones they
don't know
that are going to be in here. But apparently they just haven't signed a deal yet with some of them. Haven't not in the movie yet. But
with Agatha all along, it's basically Billy's story, but then the next one is going to be Vision Quest, which is the quest to essentially bring up Tommy. It sounds like it's leading to a Wanda thing. I guarantee she's coming back at some point.
What the fuck? All right. Full cast list for Avengers Doomsday. Half of the cast. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Louis Pullman as Sentry. Okay, so out of these 4, Paul Rudd would be here no matter what. He's just a fan favorite. People do like him. It's fine. I mean, the Shang-Chi movie, I think it's just okay. It doesn't do anything that offensive. It's just really aggressively mid. It's about like where Brave New World is at for me. It's just really meh. Nothing really memorable. Didn't hate it, but I guess. I mean, to be fair, Simu Liu's not ever getting Shang-Chi 2 because, well, reasons, obviously. Loki,
I mean, I'm happy. I don't see Awkwafina's name on here.
That's good.
Oh, thank God.
Good. Thank God. They haven't lost all their marbles yet. Tom Hiddleston is Loki. Okay, he's back. It's fine. Sentry would obviously make a pull over to this from Thunderbolts. Florence Pugh as Yelena, Danny Ramirez as Falcon, Ian McKellen as Magneto. Yelena being here, that's the Black Widow for us now. And she's pretty hot. I'll give her that. You know, I smashed it a few times. We have Taco Quesadilla Falcon. He's not funny, not interesting.
I think you might have mispronounced that. I think it's Danny Ramirez.
Ian McKellen back as Magneto, and people were like, why didn't you get Michael Fassbender? I love how they did the castings for those two. You had Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Michael Fassbender, and James McAvoy. I liked how they did it to the point where people could just choose the best guy for the role. I like Michael Fassbender too. He did a great job too. But Ian McKellen's great too. He's fine. He never phones it in for his performances.
They still might be included in it, but it might be more like the Battle World thing when they're coming from a different universe. Yeah. But you know, they put Binary at the end of Marvels into the Fox universe where Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Welcome
CG animated
that
Beast
version of it.
He's here. Yeah. Kelsey Grammer's Beast is here.
I'm just saying that's why you got to go with that Ian McKellen and you know,
because they tied it to
Patrick
that
Stewart.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. But him back as Magneto, that's good. But remember, this is kind of getting into that phase of like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, right? You know, people thought it was going to be a cameo-filled fest. I don't know if all these guys will be cameos, everyone. I don't know that at this point. But I hope that these characters will actually add value instead of just being like, oh my God, it's Magneto, Ian McKellen. Oh my God, fuck me in the ass. Like, no, could he actually have some value to the movie?
We all assume that is what you're going to be saying in the theater.
Definitely not. Sebastian Stan is Bucky. Winston Duke is M'Baku. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. What's funny about this one is, you know how at the end of Thor Love and Shit that it said Thor will return, and then when they asked him if he's going to return, he was like, I didn't know I was going to come back.
That's what they've done for all of them. They signed up Iron Man 2 before they had anyone on. Like, it's just Marvel's thing. Product next. It is this
Kelsey
date.
Grammer as Beast, as Grace said. This is terrible. This is bad. Maybe it was Bryan Singer, but fucking hell.
Again, you're in that Fox universe, though. You can't bring in the younger one in that.
I like the other one. He was better, but you're right.
Oh, yeah.
We have to get
and now he's Lex Luthor
version. Channing Tatum as Gambit. I'm happy for him. Ryan Reynolds did him a good solid for how he was treated toward the end of Fox getting merged with Disney, and now he got a chance to be in Doomsday. That's awesome. Good job. Good job. He's in there. Wyatt Russell's U.S. Agent. I like U.S. Agent. He was the best part of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm. Okay, the Fantastic Four are going to be here. I mean, let's be honest here. And
I'm so glad that they brought back the true Mystique, Rebecca Romaine.
Rebecca Romaine as Mystique.
We need that.
I will say this: for as decent of the castings for that Fox Marvel universe they did a lot of really L ones. I think the biggest misfires for me: Anna Paquin Rogue and Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. Those two are just awful.
Well, I liked the casting. I just don't like what they did with Rogue. She needed to have something to give her, like, you know, the power, like taking Miss Marvel's, because screw Captain Marvel, that character sucks. Miss Marvel's powers, you know, there was no like analogy or like anything similar for her to do. So all she had was the absorption powers, and everyone wanted to see Rogue flying around having super strength as well.
Yeah,
and we just didn't get that.
We got nothing. She was just a damsel in distress.
Exactly. All the time.
Most of the time. Yeah. Terrible.
I really hate that they did that. They should have had the best Captain Marvel that there is, which is Rogue. I don't know why they did that. And they did the same thing with Mystique, where now all of a sudden she lives with the X-Men and she knew Professor X all the time. I don't know, man. They screwed up some of those characters.
That's the thing is, I like some of their castings. Some of the castings were knock out of the park, really good. But those, man, that might be arguably one of the worst superhero castings ever. Is Anna Paquin as Rogue? Not only is it just forgettable,
I was fine with her, but I agree.
I
was fine with her, but I wanted to see her flying around and stuff.
That's the thing. It's the
what they did with the character. It's not so much the actress.
Yeah, like she was okay. You know, she had good dramatic moments, but people wanted to see Rogue with all of her powers.
Exactly.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
I will not. I am a Rogue stan till the end of time.
Patrick Stewart as Professor X, awesome. Everyone loves Patrick Stewart. He's awesome. Alan Cummings as Nightcrawler. He's going to come back. Man,
hell yeah. I actually loved him as Nightcrawler. It was part of my favorite thing of that X-Men movie.
Yeah, it was a big puzzle. Like, why aren't you in X-Men 3? And then they had to come up with some reason in a video game for him not coming back.
I know you guys saw Black Panther 2. I know for sure I didn't. How was this guy's Namor?
Namor. Gotta roll
So
them
shit,
R's.
trash, fuck. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Fuck. Ghost is back.
Well,
Villain was ass.
Okay.
The villain was terrible in Ant-Man 2. That villain sucks balls. Johnny Storm is here. Obviously, the Fantastic Four is going to be here. Red Guardian. So we know that he doesn't this inherently spoil who's going to die in Thunderbolts. Now you know Taskmaster's dead.
Yeah.
Everyone's here except for Taskmaster.
well, I mean, we can hope.
Oh, you're right. You're right. They can actually kill her off and introduce the guy Taskmaster, and they'll say
They
well,
already
the
did
fake
kill
all along.
Taskmaster. I'm just saying.
Yes, they did. They killed her from the casting. I agree with you.
Taskmaster was one of my friends' like favorite characters, and then when he saw what they did in the Black Widow movie, he was just devastated.
RDJ as Doctor Doom. You have the Thing, and then you have Anthony Mackie as Falcon. That guy's not Captain
Hey,
America.
if you were to pronounce the actor's name who's playing the Thing, how would you do that, MSK?
I would pronounce him as "Go fuck yourself, bitch." Oh,
Okay. It's actually not pronounced that way, but fair enough.
Would you like me to hug you?
You're ugly. You are disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
All right. So we'll go around. Then we'll get to our next video. I'll start with you, Gray. How you feeling about half of this cast revealed yet?
I don't know. From what I've seen with like their last few ones, it feels like it's too much and it's unearned. So I don't know. Seeing this as about half the cast, apparently, I can't help but think this is going to be another clusterfuck. Especially considering what we just got last, the last Captain America. I don't know. Brave New World it felt like it was so segmented and it was a bunch of different movies crammed into one. I can't help but think this is going to be the same type of deal. I really hope that they've got a handle on it and they know where they want to take the story, and maybe they actually have reason to have these characters there as opposed to just random characters thrown in like what we got with Brave New World. So I don't know. We'll see. Right now, they do not have my confidence on their side. I can't see how they're going to make this work, sadly. But we'll see. I'm sure I'll pay the ticket price. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be honest on it. If I think they fucked up again, I think I'm out. I think this is their last shot with me. But we'll see.
You got two parts. You got to wait for Secret Wars to really nail it in for you.
I don't know if I'm going to care. I think I'd wait till streaming or talk to my uncle about seeing that one.
Oh my God! Now you're turning into one of those. We got to be here for life, man. We've been here since the first Iron Man movie. We're in this for life, man. You ain't allowed to leave. That sounds kind of crazy,
I know that you have a life sentence, but I'm just here just for the meantime, man. For the meantime, what can I say? I'm out as soon as I get that first chance at parole. But I think DC has my confidence at this point.
I hope so. Like I said, I hope Superman is good. And you keep calling it Captain America 4. Don't you mean the Incredible Hulk 2? No Hulk? Where is Hulk?
I said the same thing. This is literally just a Hulk script they couldn't do because Universal owns the rights to that character.
But yeah, as for this, I just don't care. I really, really do not care. I want to see Fantastic Four because I've loved the Fantastic Four ever since I was a little kid, and I saw the 1960s Fantastic Four cartoons on Cartoon Network, and that's where I first really enjoyed seeing Ben Grimm as the Thing, because he had his own cartoon. So yeah, it's just the Fantastic Four hasn't had any good movies. Well, I'm sorry, they've had one, and it's called The Incredibles.
Based.
Yep. So I really, really hope that this movie is good. I hate that Pedro Pascal is in it. That is, oh my God, they had a good Mr. Fantastic with the guy who appeared in Multiverse of Madness. Can't remember his name right now. But whatever. If the story is good, I can overlook the Mandalorian and Joel being in this movie. So we'll just
Krasinski, sorry.
Yeah, John Krasinski, yeah. Oh yeah, loved his the Quiet Place movies, the first two. I haven't seen day one yet. I've heard some people say it either it sucks or it's pretty decent, so I'll have to check that out. But yeah, as for this announcement, I'm just like, okay, that was a thing. I'll just wait and see.
Announce Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat, and then Alexander will be like, "Yep, black guy to white girl."
I mean, there's a reason why it's called Black Man's Kryptonite.
All right, Bob. What about you, man?
To me, it feels like desperation. It feels like they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this one. And being that we're getting more casting, announcements, maybe they are throwing the kitchen sink at it. To me, I just don't see how anybody's going to have a meaningful role. I mean, hopefully they'll find a way to balance it out. I mean, the Russos did, I thought, a pretty good job with Infinity War as far as balancing out the stories. But looking at this group, I think several of the characters are going to be in cameos. I think several of them are going to die off pretty early. So I think that's the only way you can get around that. So, we'll end up seeing what happens. I was more interested in the news that I was hearing that Kevin Feige was planning on micromanaging the production of this a little bit closer after the Electric State didn't do too well. So, we'll see what ends up happening.
Wants to step in and now he wants to step in and do an actual job.
Yeah, so I hear something like that. I see this casting, and to me, I'm like everybody here. I'm not too thrilled with it. It doesn't do anything to get me more excited about the movie. Let's put it that way. I'm going to see it, but am I excited about it? I'm more excited to see what James Gunn has going on with DC, and hopefully Superman is good.
That's the thing too. I would agree with a lot of people on that one. Hopefully, if DC's putting out good movies or anything, that would hopefully light a spark under their ass to make better, consistent products, but doubtful of that too. So, as you guys know, for me, I think the big problem with the cast is just like, any of these characters really feel like any of this is earned really to be here. And keep in mind, this is the one thing that I haven't seen most people really comment on, beside like Robert Meyer Brunette. Who are the actual Avengers?
Yeah.
The thing in the title, who we knew the Avengers were in the other movies? Those better Avengers movies than this one might be.
Oh my god.
Who are the Avengers here? We don't know. It's just fucking cameo fest, right?
What if they get Captain doesn't represent America as the guy who tries to reassemble the Avengers?
They fucking hell. Wasn't that a tidbit in Brave New World too? It was to get him to restart the Avengers Initiative. I guarantee he's going to go around and being like, I want to bring together a team.
Yep.
Why is it always a black man doing this? But like the announced Avengers Doomsday cast, who's the group I should be rooting for? The Thunderbolts? Are they not the Avengers? Like, what? It's just, oh my god, my brain's frying. Holy shit. So that's the issue I really have with it. Mostly it's like, I don't know who the Avengers are. I like some of these castings, I do, but you trying to get me hyped up for James Marsden Cyclops in 2025? Are you serious?
Oh, you mean Tom from Sonic?
Right.
Tom was
Donut Lord.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to root for Donut Lord and Cyclops. Oh, jeez Christ. Holy fucking shit. Rebecca Romaine as Mystique. I don't know if she aged like milk, but white women really don't typically age the best, if you guys don't notice that, honestly. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope Doomsday and Secret Wars are big box office earners for them, because Lord knows they would have needed something to earn money for them after all this time of not making money. But we'll see how it pans out. We'll talk about what the rest of the cast might end up being, because RDJ did say that not all the cast have been revealed yet. Just please don't do it in a 5-hour fucking stream of just looking at chairs. I'd rather not want to sit there and just get a knife out and slit my fucking wrist, but it's okay. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace. Man, you guys suck ass, and I love you, and I hate you too.
Oh,
you guys ready to talk about Snow Brown?
Sure.
It sucks though, because she's not man. No one can convince me that she's an ugly woman, but she is definitely retarded. I'll give her that. He's just
The thing is that you'll never convince me that she's more attractive than Gal Gadot. Whatever
I
you say
won't.
about her acting,
I will never. I wouldn't even bother making the argument. I would just agree with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's just like she's supposed to be jealous of that. And again, I don't even really have a problem with Rachel Zegler. Like, as far as her attractiveness goes, I she's just kind of whatever. She's kind of just like mid to me. Like, I don't have a problem with her, but
like I don't think she was the problem. She was not the problem with Snow White, and well, outside of the actual movie, she was the problem. But in the movie, I don't think she was the worst thing about Snow White.
No,
I think I've seen her in like 4 movies. I'd say the same thing about it. It's like she wasn't my issue with the movies. That being said, her press conferences did not help.
No, she was not the right person though to be cast for.
Well, I don't know. What? Did you guys happen to see it? So they went a different way. Like, fairest doesn't mean beautiful or like the fairest skin anymore. Now it's, fairness, justice. Does she actually know the people's name? Does she treat them correct? So that's how she's the fairest. So they kind of went a different route with it. But fair enough. It's not saying she's more attractive than Gal Gadot.
But that's the thing. What I did like that they did was the fact that Gal Gadot was so focused on the outward, and if they were going to change the meaning of it, that she didn't even think about the inward. That being said, it was such a departure, and the film is always going to be associated with outward beauty because that's what the original story was associated with. So you're not going to be able to shake that.
Yeah, just in the 2020s, are you going to be able to do one that's like, is she more beautiful than me? I don't know. I think they would have to change that no matter what. So
yeah.
Well, I don't think it was super effective. They're trying to go a different route, but I don't know. I happen to watch the original. What was it, 1937 one or 34 one? I think it's 37. Yeah, I happen to watch that right after it.
The Prince is a stalker. And weird.
It is kind of dated. I don't know if you've watched it, but it just starts out of nowhere where it's like, okay, and now she's got an evil stepmother, but like you don't know anything. Like, does she still have a father? Is the father the king? Like, what's going on? Just she's the evil stepmother, the queen, and then I don't know if you guys remember the ending. I totally didn't, but the dwarves find out that, like she's asleep. So they try and track down that old lady and they run her up this cliff. And then she tries to smash him with a boulder. And suddenly the cliff just breaks off and just the old lady just falls off. And okay, that's just the end of it. It's weird. It is kind of abrupt. Parts of it do feel outdated, but man, it's classic. So I don't know.
I prefer the ending of her falling off the cliff, as opposed to her just breaking the mirror and there's no explanation why she dies.
Apparently, in the original book, she was forced to attend the wedding of Snow White and the prince, and they made the evil queen dance in these iron boots until she died.
See, now that's the ending I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Also, in the original story, I guess Snow White just had the apple lodged in her throat for like 5 years or something like that, and that's why she's dead. So once he kisses her, he magically gets the apple out of her throat. I don't know. It's weird, man.
And there's also some other appearances where that the queen makes to try to kill her. It's not just the apple. There's a couple of other instances prior to that, where she shows up like at the dwarves' door dressed as other vendors and stuff like that, trying to sell her something, and then tries to kill her. So
apparently from and the only reason I know that is because I watched this other YouTube channel. I think is called Johnny Law or something. I might be getting this mixed up. And he's the one who recited what happened in the original fairy tale. And so, apparently the dwarves left Snow White at home like on 3 other occasions, and they're like, "Hey, don't open the door because the queen is still out to kill you." And well, Snow White just wasn't very bright, and she did end up opening the door and ended up getting, I think, poisoned. I think once before the actual poison apple was given to her.
Yeah, it was like a poison cone.
Fool me once.
Yeah. I don't know the specifics. Not everything about the original tale was recited, but I was just like, okay, I can understand why Walt Disney made some changes, just narratively speaking.
Yeah, for sure. Disney updated it, so it's like I can understand them updating it a little bit now, but man, the choices that they made just seem weird. Like, for instance, in the original one, she breaks into the house, but she decides, well, let me at least clean it up, and then that'll give them a reason to let me stay here. In this one, she just falls asleep on 3 people's beds. It's like she's just an ass.
She's Goldilocks, but without the porridge.
Not only does she fall asleep in their beds, but then when it comes time to actually help clean up the place, she doesn't really help. She just hands them the broom. And here, you guys go clean it up. Where in the original, she cleaned it up because she thought they were children living there.
Yeah.
So you're saying that women have always had this innate ability to do housework, so they were always destined to be working at home?
I think the actual lesson is that Snow White had some integrity and, some character, and she wasn't just a girl boss trying to, girl boss her way to the top. So, unfortunately, that's gone these days in our endless parade of these girl boss characters that have taken over all of these franchises and torpedoed them.
Well, let's have some fun here, boys. Hey everyone, I am a black guy and I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend. I'm joking. I'm
Okay,
not,
so
I don't
take 2.
have sex. I don't have sex, Gray. I have 4 inches.
We all know that.
I'm a virgin incel loser who talks to you guys on a podcast every Monday.
Dude, you only have 4 inches if you're measuring, from way behind you.
I actually have 9 inches, but it's
fair
okay.
enough.
It's fine. All right. All jokes aside, let's have some fun. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Snow White's box office. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm a black guy. Do you guys agree with me?
I don't know. I can't be certain.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
I'm joking. I have to entertain you guys here. The point of the show is to entertain the audience. Okay.
That's what you're trying to do.
$200 MSK.
I'll be serious now. Fucking hell. Okay, I'll be serious. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Disney's Snow White live action remake box office disaster. So Disney's live action Snow White movie finally came out last weekend at the worldwide box office, and it completely failed. It actually failed so hard, it made less money than Captain America Brave New World. So I'll just throw the numbers out there really quickly. So Snow White worldwide, domestically and internationally, took in $82 million. It was projected to hit 120, 130. So it came in well below expectations, actually. Captain America Brave New World was supposed to bring in 170 to 180 opening weekend, and it took in 190, actually. Now, still keep in mind, it was going to fail either way. But just the discrepancy there is actually insane, right? Snow White's budget is between like 240 to 300 million dollars, not including marketing costs. So this movie could be anywhere between like $400 million, if we're being honest here. And we know Disney definitely lies about their movie budgets. If this movie was ever filmed in the UK, and we know the actual budget of it, it might be even of a worse disaster. Because right now it's reported that this movie could be a $200 to $300 million loss for Disney. I predicted it last week. It's going to make what Madam Web ended up making around. Did Madam Web make like 120 or something like that? So it'll probably beat that. So I was a little wrong about that. I think it'll make like, when it's all said and done, 150. That's being real generous there because no one is going to see this. Then I also read a piece of the Hollywood Reporter's article about this movie getting destroyed by a working man, which is a book based off like something that Chuck Dixon wrote. One of the paragraphs in there literally told me that the reason why this movie's going to end up picking up steam is because the little girls that are in elementary school are going to have the weekend off and they're going to have their parents go and take you to them. It's like, why can't any of these publications where we read their articles to talk about this stuff in videos, why can't you guys just ever be honest? Just say, hey, this movie is not cared for by a lot of people. No one wants to go see it. You don't have to make up excuses in every single point direction to try to get on your knees and suck off that fucking mouse cock you try to take in your fucking butthole at Disney. Not happening. No one wants to see this. It's terrible. Okay. I saw the trailers. I was like, I'm good. I need to watch this. Gray did go see it. Gray said he actually didn't like it either.
If I can be fair, so what they were trying to say, no, not at all. But if I can white knight what these guys were trying to say, they were trying to say that there aren't a lot of family flicks that came out this last weekend. So who knows? Maybe the second weekend would be the big one. Turns out they were wrong, but they've got a point. I don't think A Working Man or Death of a Unicorn is really what's going to get like the young kids in there. This is the only family flick that I see out this last weekend.
And fun fact, little kids don't pay for movie tickets. We do. The adults do, you know? So when you have this thing of Snow White coming out, so you had Rachel Zegler running her mouth, and she should have been running her mouth for something else to put inside of it because she sure is, man, dumb as fuck. You had the Peter Dinklage controversy. You had all of hers. You know, people just don't really like Disney now for everything that they've been doing. Like a bunch of the horrible movies they've been putting out recently. They've had some bangers here and there. Moana 2 did very well for them. People are gonna apparently go see Lilo and Stitch. They did Wicked, right? They did that one. People like that one. There have been some movies they did that people have enjoyed. I'm not saying all of them have been stinkers, but for the most part, majority of them have not been good for a lot of people, and a lot of people just don't want to go support them anymore. Because keep in mind, this guys, I understand the argument that people bring up, like back in the day, we could consume movies a lot more easier because we just didn't care. We didn't know any better back then. Now we know what these guys are really about. So the issue here is mostly like parents just don't want to go take their kids to go to anything Disney's offering. And sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, Universal did Wicked. But
yeah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Fine. But it proves that, you know, they can do other musicals that Disney aren't doing that makes a lot of money. But, you know, I mean, if we're going to talk Universal, their animated movies make more money than Disney's does now. I mean, haven't the last Minions movies beat all of theirs? But nevertheless, just wanted to correct myself there for a little bit of fun fact trivia. But parents just don't want to go and take their kids to see Disney movies anymore because they don't like what Disney's telling their kids. Do you, as a parent, want to go take your kid to a Disney movie and have them tell you some bullshit? Like, not bullshit in the way it's like, oh, you should be a great person. You should go save women and all that stupid nonsense. Like, hey, I want you to accept this absolute most weird shit and you have to take it. Like, how about no? How about I give my money to someone else, you know? But we've had the controversy of one of the producers of the film or son of the director. He called her out on a lot of things. We'll probably go over that, you know, next week because that could be in its own video itself, obviously. Yeah. Like, apparently they hired Rachel Zegler, a PR person. That's crazy. Why wasn't Gina Carano offered that? Fuck.
Well, she had the wrong opinions.
Wrong opinions, you know. Yeah. She had the wrong politics. Yeah. Mm-hmm. From what I read, rumor allegedly, they got her a PR person. They didn't want to have a similar lawsuit on their hands. Same with Gina Carano. It's like, you guys really are just fucking pieces of shit, aren't you? You know, crazy. Oh, I was told Disney loves women. They canceled all of her premieres. I mean, that's apparently love, right? They like women. They like marginalized groups. They care for women's rights in this company. They canceled all of her premieres. They took away all the dwarfs. They hired.
It was probably smart to cancel all the premieres. I did see the movie, so
yeah.
The added premieres weren't going to help. It probably would have hurt the movie even more.
Oh God, I will say. I don't like this image of her on her knees. Just don't do this to me, please. Good Lord. What a... I have seen... Okay, so I've seen two things out of the movie. On Twitter, they leaked the musical numbers, one that Gal Gadot did and one that she did. Man, Gal Gadot was phoning it in. She was not trying.
No, you know what? I actually think that she was trying. The problem is she was hamming it up so much and nobody else was hamming it up to that level. It came off as a very different type of performance than the movie everybody else was in.
Good Lord. I mean, we're at this point now where Disney, please stop making these. No one cares for these anymore. This whole like live action remake of the animated classics, like can you just make, if you want to do this, why can't you just make sequels to the other ones that already exist, animated form? No one has anyone really talked about any of these in a positive manner? Any of them? I mean, I've not heard anything positive about any of these.
Even when they are sort of talked about in a positive manner, like the last one I can think of is like Aladdin, because The Lion King is not live action. It's animation. So go back to Aladdin, and this was Will Smith pre the slap seen around the world.
Oh no.
People did generally speak positively about that movie. Like, I think maybe I think Jasmine had some sort of new song. I don't know. I didn't see it, but I did see the reaction to it. And it was just like, this is okay. And then it just disappeared. Like, it made $1 billion and then it disappeared. It made no cultural footprint, like the Avatar movies.
It was kind of cool. So I think that is my favorite of the live action ones, and that's just because they let Guy Ritchie do it. Which, why the hell would Guy Ritchie be doing a live action Disney?
What a weird combination.
It is kind of cool. Like, you get moments of Guy Ritchie, and you get like these weird music videos, speed ramp ups, and then slow down. It's really kind of interesting. But that being said, I think they're just doing these because Disney's previous thing was the vault. Like, every now and then they would bring out like these cassette tapes or DVDs that like you could only get during certain times of the year. Well, they can't make money off of their old things anymore. So they need to have a premiere. And then if they do these live action ones, then you get Disney's Snow White. It now has another copyright going. Nobody else can touch Disney's Snow White story. It kind of works twofold, and then they get the box office on it. But this one is definitely a loss.
I think you're saying they're releasing these updated live action versions to kind of keep the rights of the characters. What you're saying?
Yes, that it. Oh, sorry. Apparently my thing just went way up. Yes, not only that, not only do they get to keep the rights, but then also they get that box office thing. So they get a little hit of money and they get the rights prolonged. It seems like a win-win. However, this one, with as many reshoots as they've done, man, there's no way they're making back $300 million on this one.
I don't even believe the budget is 240 to 300. This budget would have to be what people were speculating Captain America 4's budget was. Has to be. There's no way this thing is 240 with all the amount of reshoots, and they had to do all that CGI from scratch. There's no way, man. Good Lord. Good job, Disney. You choose. What's that meme? Our expectations were low, but holy fuck, I need that.
Yeah. It's not often that you can go see a movie, have low expectations, the movie still say hold my beer, and be even worse than you expected it to be. That's what Snow White was. God. It was actually worse than what I expected it to be. And again, like we said before we started the video, that I didn't think Rachel Zegler was really the problem with the movie itself. She was the problem outside of the movie, but with her performance, I don't think that was the problem.
Same with Y2K, and there's a couple other ones that I saw her in that I can't think of now.
I liked the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I thought she was
because you mind.
I didn't end up seeing West Side Story.
Yeah, like, she's an actress that's not been in anything that's been a smash hit box office wise. So even casting her as Snow White was a stupid idea anyway.
Yeah, the narcissism.
Yeah, I mean, she can sing. She's kind of pretty. I can understand she checks off 2 of the boxes, and then representation as well. I can understand why they went with her. She's not my main issue with it. The film to me is just really meh. Like, I don't think it deserves the 1.6 it's getting on IMDb currently. I think it's the number 5 worst movie of all time. It's very meh. I've seen worse ones from Disney, but it's not a good movie. I don't know why anyone would hype it.
I think Disney deserves all of the bad news that they're getting.
They deserve it.
Deserved or not. It's
they deserve it.
Yeah, let it burn. Let Troy burn.
This literally, I don't know if people have read that recent thing, that expose on the movie. Holy crap, was this just a fucking dumpster fire?
Snow White, and Emily just corrected me. Apparently, it's not 1.6 anymore. Now it's down to 1.5. So
good job, Disney. Hell yeah, taking all those accolades in the wrong direction. Holy fuck.
Take them L's.
Snow White box office breaks grim Disney record in week 2, even as it races up 2025's worldwide chart. Snow White has broken a grim box office record for Disney in spite of some forward momentum. Holy motherfuck, you guys just lied right here in this first sentence. God.
Well, they're comparing it to everything else that's come out this year, which we talked about earlier, is not making money. The theaters aren't making money. So
What momentum does this movie? Oh, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna rage out. It's fine. Bob is right. I agree. The live action remake stars Rachel Zegler in the title role opposite Gal Gadot as the evil queen. The movie's premiere had some amid severe Snow White backlash due to controversies, including the star's opposing views on Israel and Palestine. And keep in mind, from what I read allegedly, they told her to take it down. She refused.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
keep in mind, guys,
refused.
she'd already put her foot in her mouth at that D23 event, and then that interview she had afterwards anyway. Like, she had already shitted on the entire movie before it even came out, honestly. People were literally going, we're not watching this. We hate you. The properties...
and
Yeah, what?
and also Dinklage had done that before as well. From what I understand, he pulled up that tiny little ladder and kind
Tiny
of
little ladder.
cursed
Oh,
this
God.
movie before we even knew anything about the casting.
Gray, were you trying to make a short person joke there?
Not at all.
I don't believe you. The property's depiction of dwarfism and much more. While it debuted at number 1 at the domestic box office, it earned a middling $42.2 million that weekend. Per Variety, as of Sunday morning, Snow White is projected to gross a 3-day total of $14.2 million by the end of its sophomore weekend at the domestic box office. This sees it stumbling down to number 2, behind A Working Man, with a week-on-week drop of 66%, which is the worst week 2 drop of any Disney live-action remake.
Yeah, that's way higher than I predicted. I was thinking more like 50% since there weren't any family flicks out this weekend.
I said 70. I got really close. I had no faith.
Yeah, I just thought maybe since when you look at all the big ones from last year, most of them are kind of family flicks that stuck around for a while. True. I was just thinking maybe this had some legs, but no, none to stand on.
It has bested the previous record holder, which was 2019's Dumbo, which had a 60.4%. It is also worse than notable Disney live action disappointments, including Cruella, 48.8%. I didn't hate this movie. This just shouldn't have been called Cruella. If this had not any tie to the Dalmatian movies, this could have been a movie people received better. I didn't hate this when I watched this. I thought who was this? Emma Stone? I think she did a great job. She did a fantastic job in the movie. This, man, I felt so bad for what Disney did during that movie. Because it's not a bad movie. It's just tied to a movie that you're like, why? It just, God, I fucking hate that shit. But that had a 48.8% drop. Jungle Cruise at a 54.8%. I watched Jungle Cruise. Not bad, not horrible. Just like Gray said, just meh, honestly. Dwayne Johnson, he was trying, but there's nothing you can do with that movie, honestly. And A Haunted Mansion. Oh, I remember Haunted Mansion. Yeah, that fucking collapsed that weekend. However, at the same time, it has reached a global box office total of $143.1 million, which sees it racing past Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy, which had $125.8 million, A Dog Man, $130.8 million, to become the third highest grossing movie 2025 worldwide. That's terrible. That's bad. That's how you know numbers at the box office are egregious when something this, when a movie like this collapses.
Keep in mind it's March, though.
It is March. We'll wait till July. If a movie this bad apparently can be the third highest grossing movie so far this year, we ain't got nothing coming out this year. But then again, Grace said, movies are coming out later on. We'll beat it. Hopefully, maybe, right? Superman, we'll beat this, right?
Yeah, we got Lilo and Stitch in May, and then Superman and Fantastic Four coming out in July.
Oh, there's Jurassic Park 7. That's for sure beating this.
Oh yeah. When is that coming out?
Also in July. Superman, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic Park all in July.
Oh wow.
Behind just Captain America: Brave New World, $403.8 million, and the record-breaking Chinese animated movie Ni Za 2, which obviously in their currency now has $1.896 billion, but not counting China in this, because that's what they're trying to do to fluff the numbers. This is what Captain America: Brave New World's also at, and that movie also was a failure. Keep in mind, this movie made more than Snow White, and that's ridiculous, honestly, at this point. In addition to dropping almost 6 full percentage points more than Dumbo, Snow White has fallen 25.6% more than the remake, with the smallest drop, which is 2016's Jungle Book, which is 40.4%. See a breakdown of how Snow White's Week 2 drop compares to all the previous Disney live-action remakes that were released in domestic theaters, not counting sequels, reimaginings, or prequels such as Mufasa and Cruella. Okay, so Yeah, it is the highest. Dumbo is tied with Lion King. Then you had Little Mermaid. That's crazy. This has a higher drop off than Little Mermaid. Like, no one watched that because that was, we know who was casted in that. It was Black.
Mulan should be on there, but they barely got any actual release
Mulan
in
was
that
a Disney
one.
Plus release. Remember, it was on the streaming service.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
They just-
Mulan got away with it because Mulan was pretty bad too.
Mulan went direct to streaming. Yep. I read originally they were like, no Mushu and that love interest she has. I was like, nope, not watching this. Absolutely not even going to entertain that. That is stupid.
No, it was just, she's the girl boss. She had power all along. She just needed to stop listening to the men.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Yeah, what was it? Her chi was higher or
Her
something like
Or
that.
she. Oh, no. Fucking hell. So they didn't have to have the song You're Playing with the Big Boys? Oh, of course they didn't. Of course they didn't.
That's the Prince of Egypt.
I knew you get the joke. See, I knew you get it, God. Additionally, while the Snow White box office has grown to a degree that it has landed among the year's other blockbuster tentpoles, its enormous budget still presents with a potentially insurmountable problem. Yeah, it's not going to make no money. The movie reportedly cost $250 million, which most likely means that its break even is somewhere near 625. No.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
It would need to get about 750 for that to be break even. So nice try there, but it's still not reaching this anyway, so it doesn't matter, honestly.
Well, I mean, they did save some money by canceling a bunch of those premieres, so maybe.
Always got to look for the bright side.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Let's get down to business. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Good Lord, man! Fucking movie.
I'll make a man out of you is I think the
God, that's my favorite. God, that would be
yeah,
fire one.
That's
Mulan,
MSK's
great.
favorite song.
Oh yeah, I love more men. No, I like women. I'm obviously straight. All jokes aside, at its current trajectory, it may not even hit 250 million. It may not even hit the $250 million milestone, which would see it closing its theatrical run at a huge loss for Disney. It doesn't matter, guys. It's a failure either way. It's not hitting this. It's not hitting a break-even point. This is going to absolutely be a fucking big disaster for them. Although Snow White seems doomed to be a disappointment, it is. There's no seams. We can see. We have eyes and ears. We can see it. Disney will most likely rebound quite soon with their upcoming slate of live-action remakes. Lilo and Stitch is due in May, followed by Moana in July 2026, and both have the potential to become major blockbusters thanks to their beloved source material and general lack of controversy. Wait, didn't Moana already came out? Moana 2 already came out.
So they
No,
did
the
the
live
sequel,
action.
but they're doing a live action.
Yeah,
True. They're doing a live action one. Oh no. Oh my God.
That's
Disney,
not
Jesus
confusing.
Christ.
That's not confusing at all.
So they
It
So they
is.
constantly make no money. Oh my God, Disney. Jesus Christ. You just whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, but you have to think like they actually made some money on Moana 2, where
They did,
before it was just
yeah.
going to be a series going to streaming. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a bit of a course correction, but then they dropped this thing. Can I ask you guys, do you think there's any shot that they could have prevented this from going out, or would that just be an admission that they lost the culture war and essentially all the criticism against this was correct?
I think they were
it feels like
stuck
they're in a.
having to release it.
That's what I'm thinking. It seems like you're
Yeah.
stuck between like a rock and a hard place, and if you don't release it, you're screwed. If you release it, you're going to lose money. I think they're screwed either way on this one.
I think what they were hoping to do is release it, and then maybe they get lucky and people take all the little girls to go see it, and the families go see it, and they were hoping that maybe they could get around it. But word of mouth was just way too bad on this one.
Honestly, this movie was screwed the moment they had their original idea of making it like Snow White and the Seven baristas from Portland. That was the original version. That
Yeah.
we were
Snow
gonna
White
get
and the
before-
7 DEI hires. Gotta love it.
Before they did the reshoots and like, oh, you see, we had dwarves all along. Look at these monstrosities.
The nightmare fuel.
The night, yeah. Honestly, I would rather have seen Snow White and the Bandits than what they ended up doing.
Snow
'Cause
White and the 7 Tyrone black guys.
I would rather have seen that.
I think I've seen that film.
I think I've seen that a few times too. Yeah, we
I'm
have.
sure we all have.
Fist bump. We all got the joke. Fist bump. Oh, fuck you guys. All right. While this success may not ultimately extend to in development remakes such as Hercules, they're going to do They're doing a Hercules live action remake.
Yeah, they are.
Do these
Just wait
people
till
have
they get
no
to the Emperor's
ideas?
New Groove.
Oh, they better not. I love
Oh
that movie.
God, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If
You know they're gonna get what's his name from
who's gonna play
Doom,
Krunk?
the
play
main
Krunk?
guy to
They're gonna have
to
Dwayne
do
Johnson
this.
portray Krunk. I know it. Oh my God, I can see it now. They're
Well,
gonna
maybe
have
not
him do
because
it.
he's coming back from Moana, so maybe that won't happen.
Yeah.
Bambi and the Aristocrats, the Aristocats, the Aristo fuck, whatever the fuck that is. The week 2 drop is not necessarily a death kneel for the subgenre. I hate you people. Fuck off. Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
These trades exist as like the media arm of these studios, so they always have to talk things up. You know, it's just like, it's really not that bad, guys. And then it's like, yes, it is that bad, and here's why.
It's like they're in constant state of like with a gun pointed to your forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you dare say anything bad. Play it up and then downplay it, but then play it up again. So currently right now on Box Office Mojo, this is for Snow White 2025. Domestic, $66 million. International, $75 million. You got a $142 million haul at the box office worldwide. Failure. Complete failure. Final prediction when this leaves theaters. I think this hits shit. Because it went from 88 to 142. So that's what, a $40 million increase. I'll give you like 170 highest.
Oh, like its final box office for Snow
final
White?
box office total. What do you guys think? I'm saying 170. What do you think, Trap?
With the worldwide stuff thrown in, I'm gonna say 160.
Okay. Gray? I phrase it.
Sorry, I was just checking what's coming out this weekend. It is
Okay.
Minecraft movie, so yeah, I think that just completely knocks
Talk
this
about
one
another
off.
bomb that's going to happen.
Probably, but I think people will spend money to see that over Snow White. So yeah, I think probably around 170. I hate agreeing with MSK, but I'll go 175 just to go a little bit more.
Some of the price is right. $1. God, man, he's like the dollar bet guy on Price is Right. Bob, what about you?
I was gonna say 180, but I think 170 sounds more realistic.
God, fucking hell. And that's the thing is like, I hope these other ones fail so they stop doing these. How many more movies does this have to keep happening for? And I get it. Some of them did do very well, but keep in mind when we go over some of these charts that some of these guys give us, I'm able to understand. Back then, for like let's do 2016, right? So 2016 and 2010 and 2017 and all these other years ago that we had to deal with these movies coming out. The reason why some of those movies did as well as they did is because people didn't like hate Disney as much as they do now. You've seen the numbers progressively go down with Disney over the course of like many years now at this point, and people just like, hating them, because keep in mind, like Cinderella, I think did very well. Beauty and the Beast did well. Jungle Book did very well for them. Their movies originally up front did very well for them because they were kind of like new. You didn't really know what you were going to get the first part. Now you've seen a lot of these. You're like, these just don't really have the magic that the animated movies do. They just don't, because I think you can't really translate that to live action. You either do it animated sequels or you just do another like version of animation for it to make it a movie. But that's my opinion. So go around the hatch here. Final part of the video. Trap, we'll start with you, the black man here. What do you think about Snow White box office week 2 disaster? You think Rachel Zegler's going to hit me up for some sex later on? Have me blow her back out?
No, she'll find like a 6'4" Chad, and that he'll make her worries go away for a few nights.
So me?
Are you 6'4"?
No, you're a short king. Come on, man.
I'm 5'9". Fuck you.
I'm taller than you are. Woohoo! I'm not that much. I'm like 5'10".
I got checkmated. No.
And honestly, as for all the tragedy that has befallen this movie, all I can say is for Disney, it couldn't have happened to a better company.
Okay. Gray, what about you, man?
Yeah, it's sad. It does feel like one of the giants is really falling here. Every one of their films that I can think of in recent release just seems to be a huge disappointment. Yeah, man, I hope that they are righting the wrongs that they had previously kind of put forward. It seems like there was this push to get out movies, like they needed like one per year from every major franchise, if not moving even more. they're at least stepping back from that. So maybe they can try and write it going forward. But man, I kind of have no goodwill towards anything that's coming out. I wish them luck with Lilo and Stitch, and hopefully Fantastic Four is not trash, but we'll see. They don't leave me much hope, though. What about you, Bob? What's your thoughts on this whole thing?
As far as Lilo and Stitch goes, I really hope that that's good because I really liked the trailers.
I did too.
That's one that I'm thinking could make $1 billion. And well, I mean, we'll see if it does or not. But as far as Snow White goes, this was going to be a train wreck from the start. It started off that way when Rachel Zegler opened her mouth and started bad mouthing the source material. We hadn't even seen anything yet. Throw in Peter Dinklage, and then we saw the trailers and everything. There was just too much going against this movie, and then it did not help that the movie itself was actually bad. And because of that, there was bad word of mouth. I agree with you, Trap, that, you know what, it couldn't have happened to a better company, and it sucks. Because, again, I do want to see good stuff from them because you have fond memories of watching some of this stuff when you were a kid, and you want to see it succeed, but they just can't help themselves by putting out garbage. And again, I hope Lilo and Stitch is not that way. I hope Thunderbolts is good. I hope Fantastic Four is good. But yeah, I'm like you, Gray. I don't have high hopes for this.
Yeah. As for me, I'm glad. Fuck her. Because she's stupid. And this is what she deserves. I know people are like, oh, it's not her fault. It's kind of like Disney's fault. Why can't this be a combination of them both? It's not an either or. It's like it's their fault for doing the movie. Their fault for casting her in general, even though that they know that she has essentially no box office hits as far as like profitability at all. I mean, yeah, she can sing. She's sang pretty well in West Side Story. It's fine. What else I was going to bring up? Her comments overall ruined everything. Peter Dinklage shit ruined a lot of things. I mean, this is just bound to be a disaster from start to finish, obviously, you know? And like Trap said, couldn't have happened to a better company. Fuck these people. How about this? Start making things people actually want to go see, then you'll get money. And things, and not what to see on Twitter. Do like polls in real life. Something. Make things that people actually want to literally open their wallet up and give you money for. Not this like, oh, you know, we don't have anything to release to you guys. We'll just do a live action Snow White movie. Were people even asking for that? Do people even want that? Was that something that you actually needed in your life? As another Snow White movie? It's like, holy fucking shit, you know? But, yep. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I put a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, a.k.a. Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. Bye. All right. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, buddy? Haley Bailey didn't badmouth nobody. Folks still rooting for Little Mermaid to fail at the box office. Well, that's because no one liked the casting.
Look, here, just to comment on that.
Sure.
He brings up a point. Look, when you casted Rachel Zegler, it was already going to come with some controversy because you're casting somebody who does not meet the ethnicity of Snow White. So you're already going to have the controversy there. People are going to hate on it just to hate on it regardless. You're going to get that. The problem, though, is you can overcome a lot of that if you're not out there bad mouthing the source material and you're just focusing on giving a good performance. Because if people had walked out of there saying, you know what, she gave a good performance, and you didn't have all the outside stuff, that could have helped the movie out in the long run. I'm not saying that it would have changed everybody's minds, because there are going to be some people that were going to hate on it just because it was a controversial casting to begin with. But it doesn't help when you're opening your mouth outside of the film itself. When you start,
I think she said one
turning
thing
off the audience, that's going to hurt the movie. Maybe not to the full extent. Like I don't think that's the whole reason why the movie bombed. That is a reason.
Also, I remember Haley Bailey said one. I remember I should have bookmarked a tweet a long time ago. I remember she said a few things in some interviews, still were egregiously weird, egregiously like, okay, you're just getting these talking points from someone. I remember she did say a few crazy retarded things. Now, were those enough to damage the entire movie? Not really. And also, I wanted to point out from a consumer point of view, you know, from what Kevin said. Why, since I'm going to pay for the movie, I work, we all do. If I'm going to pay for that movie, if I don't like your casting, that's well in my right to not like the casting. I don't give a. I'll be honest. I don't mean this to you. I'm just saying that if someone casts a black actor in something, keep in mind to race swap Ariel. If people don't like that, that's fine. That's not a bad reason at all to not. If you don't like it, you don't have to go support it. And people didn't go and support it. You know, it doesn't have to be a controversy. It has to be even what Bob said, a red flag. I, as a consumer, get to go. I don't like this. I'm not supporting this. That's fine, right? That's what we all do, you know? So even though she didn't really do anything as bad as Rachel Zegler, people just didn't like the casting. It's a stupid casting. It makes no sense. And it just only exemplifies a lot of the problems we had about a lot of this shit, you know? But
I could totally be wrong. I don't remember Halle Berry being not
Halle Berry. They didn't make a lot of headlines. They didn't make any headlines.
Bailey. I don't remember, her
she said a few
coming out
crazy things, but it wasn't.
I think it was after she was getting a shit ton of backlash, from what I remember. Where
yeah, you're right.
It was kind of like that whole, the "Don't be racist in the galaxy" or whatever Star Wars did. Yeah, it felt like it was kind of a campaign after they were getting hate. But maybe I'm remembering that wrong. But either way, I didn't support that movie. I didn't go out and actually buy a ticket or anything like that. And that's mainly because Awkwafina as that stupid bird.
Oh,
come on. You don't need to put Awkwafina in everything. That's my main thing.
You're not going to make Awkwafina happen. It's just, you got to stop trying to make it happen. Just like that other like ginger girl that they put in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Solo. It's just, and Willow.
I'll go with your other point too. If this white actor was saying the same thing as Rachel Zegler, folks wouldn't have made a big. It's also not true. I'll give you a recent example of this. The main guy in Reacher, Alan something Richmond, he had some problems. He made some recent, really crazy comments about Trump and all that other nonsense. I don't know where you got that from, but if a white person says some really retarded shit like that, they are also getting massively hit with backlash. I don't know where you got that from. That is definitely not true, brother. Come on, man. Don't do that.
I don't know if anyone's really like protesting Reacher though. Like they kind of still see it as a character, and he's still playing as like the soap opera, plain novel that it is. Don't get me wrong. Like I love those things, and I'm so glad that he's playing the character as opposed to Tom Cruise. But I don't know.
Tom Cruise, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, now Tom, he's I guess you could classify him as a short king, because I think that guy's like what 5'8" or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And he's playing all these characters where he's beating up like 6'4" dudes. So,
dude, I still can't believe MCU fans rejected him being Iron Man next. Because remember, he was supposed to be like set up to be like Iron Man as a replacement. People were like, no, we don't want. If Tom Cruise isn't good enough for you, then I don't know who is good enough for you, honestly. If Tom Cruise can't be your Iron Man, that's crazy, honestly.
Now, I get it. You see representation because he's also a fellow short king. I get it, MSK.
I'm tall.
You're trying to make this Tom Cruise thing happen. Fair enough. He's a good actor, but he should play some small roles.
And keep in mind, it's also
it's
also the level of things said too. People just didn't like her casting. The things that she said that were really, really, really disgustingly cringe, didn't make enough headlines. Rachel Zegler was actively on Twitter saying a lot of crazy stuff, promoting just a ton of controversy that was going to tank the movie. I don't think Halle Bailey even has a Twitter account. She didn't have a Twitter account to really spew all this bullshit, but you can tell she thinks very similar to her. I mean, let's be honest, we've seen them interact with each other. She definitely thinks the same. But if I don't like a black actor getting cast as something, I have that right to, just like fucking hell, like John Boyega. We're not gonna go into that. I'm only gonna do two topics tonight because you guys are late here, but I don't have to like him being a part of Star Wars. I don't have to.
I like him. I wish they gave him something to do in Star Wars. I think his character was the one that was affected. Well, I guess him and Snoke were the ones that were affected the most with all these different ideas, like no through plan on what to do with that series.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
he was completely wasted, and Snoke was completely wasted. Boyega deserves more.
He did, but he's wasting a lot of fan.
Oh my god! Recently, oh my god, because he said white people didn't get a back. Bob Iger, was it not last year? The year before? It was the end of 2023 when he said that their movies were actively promoting just. Remember, he basically admitted to all the shit we were talking about. Literally, basically admitted to all the things we had talked about. Yeah, he got some mega backlash for that. He even had it where like he said, we probably produce way too much stuff. All of us were like, yeah, you did. You produce way too much shit. It's like, yeah, I just don't know where you got that from, Kevin. White people definitely get a lot of backlash for stupid shit they say. i.e. me, because I'm white. Walter says, if the movie is shit, fine, but people lose me when they pick and choose shit from the source material of Snow White to speak against the new film while not doing the same for the animated version. Well, it just depends.
Yeah,
if you're
point.
if you're down in that kind of rabbit hole, if one just did it better, then that's like a by the by thing. But I understand what you're saying. But
No, I get his point, and it's a very good point. The thing is that when people think of Snow White, they don't think of the original story anymore. They think of the 1937 film. That's what a lot of people think of when they think of source material. They don't think of the actual story. So when you have Rachel Zegler out there taking a dump all over the 1937 film, that's what was ticking a lot of people off.
The one that launched
Disney. But I get Walter's point, because the 1937 film makes a lot of changes to Snow White. We were talking about some of that earlier.
Yeah. And so we call that doing an Amber Heard.
Oh yeah. Speaking of a white lady that got a lot of controversy where she did. Like, keep in mind that's the movie that started it all for Disney, for Walt Disney, to get him to make the company. Like, keep in mind, without that, you have no Disney. Like, there's got to be a little bit of a respect there, Like, without that, you don't have all of this. But I get it. You have to like. I never shitted on Rachel Zegler for not liking the original. You don't have to like original classic. There's plenty of people that don't like original classic. They call them overrated. That's totally fine. But then, remember a week later, she was on that Jimmy Kimmel interview and she changed her entire tune-up. She was like, I really like the original. It was a classic. I make Disney. Yeah.
Okay, MSK. Just think about it this way. How many times do you put your foot in your mouth? Do you have to like restart a show? Just weird hypotheticals out there.
Never
you
happened.
Wish that what came out of your mouth wasn't immortalized on the internet forever. Now imagine being 22 and having like a bunch of cameras shoved in your face and having to go from one interview to the next. Dude, I think I would fail at it today. And man, if you put me at 22, I would have said some really stupid shit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of get it, but fair enough. I'm just lucky that the internet didn't exist in its form today when I was 22.
Yeah, and as an actress, like I said, I really don't even have a problem with Rachel Zegler. I've liked some of the other stuff that she's been in. And as far as the movie goes, I don't even think she was the worst part of the movie. She did fine with the singing, and her performance was fine. It's like I was saying earlier, though, there was a controversy already surrounding her casting. You cast Gal Gadot to be the evil queen, and you have a story that's associated with beauty, and people are going to make that comparison right there. So then there's more controversy on it. Her role at that point was just to go in, do the best job she could, speak highly of the classic film, and say, well, you know what? Yeah, we really respect what was done. We do want to make a few changes, but overall, we want to try to stay true to the spirit of the story. She says something like that, and nobody's going to think otherwise. Are they going to probably still hate on her for her casting? Yeah, that was going to happen. But
I mean,
again,
can you be honest?
Could have overcome some of that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be an asshole and say, can you be honest, as if you're just being MSK here. I just mean, can you honestly say that, like, you at 22 have that in mind? Like, I'm trying to think. Don't. So I was in a band at that time. I would be like outside of the venue talking shit on the venue, the promoter, the other bands that were with it. And I alienated so many fucking people in my stupid myopic vision of like, no, I'm the star here. I know what's right. Dude, if I actually was the star of a film, I just imagine my ego at 22 would have been huge. And I had just small, like little tiny bits of local whatever success. It was nothing huge like this. So I don't know, man. I think I would have been a monster at 22.
Yeah, and I get that. Like I said, I really don't like that. Didn't even bother me a ton. Like, I'm kind of like you. It didn't bother me a ton. It's just it was going to affect some people regardless. That was just what was going to happen. Back in the old days, we've heard how a lot of these actors and actresses, they had people to help them navigate some of those avenues as opposed to what to say and how to say it. And I don't think that was done very well in her case with this film. And once they started seeing that, you could tell they tried to rein her in a little bit, and then she would go off and do something else. So I mean, I get what you're saying, Gray, and it makes sense.
Yeah, they tried to rehabilitate her image. She had the interview with Haley Bailey,
Right.
It
and
was
then
right
she had
after.
yeah, and then she had the other interview with Andrew Garfield. Well, I think that was more like a podcast kind of thing.
Yeah.
But again, they were trying to be like, just speak a bit more softly. Don't just be like off the cuff, and try to be more like that Disney princess. But sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. I was gonna add to your point because that's my thing too. I don't even mind if she doesn't like the original. It's like, okay, if you have these opinions, then can you stick to them? Because now if you flip, as you say, now I know you're not genuine. Now I know you're just full of shit. Like, okay, do you believe in what you're saying right here, or are you just full of shit in this other interview you have? And then keep in mind, a lot of people really just don't like when Disney just race swaps and gender swaps things. This has been apparent for many things. So not just Disney, a lot of these companies do this now. They don't like it. All they get this. When you cast someone that isn't what they know in the previous material, as they consider that the original, they don't like it. They do not like it.
They should have cast Beyonce in Beauty and the Beast rather than Emma Watson.
Like, for example, I'm Hispanic. And I live in a community that's predominantly Hispanic. And just from people that I've talked to, her casting was not exactly a popular choice, amongst a lot of people. Yeah, like they use the logic of, now you can finally see somebody that you can relate to.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in the community where I'm living were like, oh God, she's supposed to be white. Why would you cast her? So that's, even in a predominantly Hispanic community, I saw a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. The casting was definitely like a statement.
Yes, and that was I think that's the other problem. It wasn't even the ethnicity swap, because if they had come out and said, you know what, we auditioned hundreds of actresses, she had the best voice for the songs, we liked her interactions with the other actors that we want to cast, you're going to react to it a lot differently than if you come out before any casting is even done and you make the statement, we want to race swap this character. You already are going to create some controversy. That's what happened with The Little Mermaid. They didn't even give Halle Bailey an opportunity to overcome some of that, because they said from the get-go, this is what we're going to do. And they already created controversy. And instead of saying, hey, you know what, she was the best actress for the job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like it was just like the plot itself. I really just think this movie was doomed from the get-go, from the script writing stage.
Yes.
Because it was such a departure from the original. And people, unfortunately for Disney, have memories. They can remember things past 5 minutes. So they have the original Disney version ingrained in their minds. So it's like Disney was kind of stuck. It's either they either go all the way and they make it this sort of like feminist empowerment story of revolution and whatnot, or you kind of do a shot-for-shot remake of the original. And from what I understand, they kind of did a middling kind of mix of the two, and it's something
it's exactly
everybody
what they did.
Yeah.
You can see where they were going with this group of merry men that are not dwarves. And then you can see the section with the dwarves, and they never really interact with each other. You can kind of see what is reaching. But it's sad because while the original is not perfect or anything like that, it's got some amazing songs in there. And man, they just go so mid with the songs. It just sounds like standard Broadway stuff as opposed to like not good ones, not like anything that anybody would remember. And man, there were some really awesome songs, like the one at the beginning where she's like doing the echo thing in the well. They even have the well in the beginning, but for some reason they don't do that one. And then the whistle song, they just really get that one screwed up.
Oh yeah,
it sucks. That. The songs that are classic that would have actually been like amazing that you want to hear this new version of, they just didn't include them. It really sucks. They made some weird decisions with this one.
They didn't even have Hi Ho in there.
No, they haven't. But
it's not the. It's weird, man.
Well, I only bring that up because it's like they use that to advertise the trailer. So I'd be like, oh, they had it in the trailer, but not the movie. That anyway.
It's like half in there, but she teaches Dopey how to whistle for some reason, and that's like half the song. It's weird.
It is weird. That's what you mean.
If you want to hear a better version of Hi Ho, go watch the Gremlins and watch them sing Hi Ho. That's better than what was in the movie.
It is.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at this Amaranth thing on Instagram. But yeah, we're gonna
Second
wrap it up
screen
in
material.
True. We're gonna wrap it up here in a little bit. We had a great show tonight. Sorry if the videos have not been coming out as consistently, guys. I've just been so busy, but I'm gonna basically put my head in the sand and get you guys your videos up. There's gonna be a lot of MSK show episodes coming up later on this week. I'll probably announce this in tomorrow's episode with Lax Comic Fan. But for the most part, Saturday and Sunday, we really won't be having this show anymore unless I'm doing one-on-ones that I set up, or if we're doing like a league stream or the Cloud9 podcast, because so hard getting people just on Saturdays for a consistent group of people. And normally Sunday, we wouldn't have a show anyway. It'd be mostly me just with Savage Dad whenever we did a Sunday show. But yeah, you're mostly just going to get the MSK show Monday through Friday as things are set up right now. And if any of that changes, I'll just let you know then. So, you know, but we'll start with our guest tonight, which was Trap, whom I'm going to have a one-on-one with on Friday. Anything you're working on that you want to let the audience know about?
Yes, I am chronicling my attempts to learn Blender 3D, which is a 3D animation software that's free for anyone to download. An animated movie just won Best Animated Picture using Blender 3D. So I hope to learn it.
It was a badass film that looked like PS2 graphics in a weird way.
Hey, people love their PS2 graphics. You know, there's a certain charm about it.
But I'm jealous of you, man. That's awesome if you're going to learn Blender. Huge skill to have.
Thanks. I've been trying to learn Blender since 2015, but I had a lot of distractions at the time. I was raising my nieces and taking care of my mom. I'm a caregiver. That's my day job. And I live stream games on my YouTube channel. It's a Trap Productions, but that's going to change too. My channel is mainly going to be just about original content, like skits and things, and eventually 3D animation. And then I'll have a separate channel. It's a Trap Plays for all the gaming stuff. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on.
Oh yeah, Gray, you got anything coming out that you want to let people know about?
I got some irons in the fire, so to speak. But one question, what did you mean by you're going to put your head in the sand? Is that like an ostrich thing? Like most people would say you're going to put your nose to the grindstone or something, but put your head in the sand means like ignore all that's going on around you. Not necessarily get work done. Just, pretend like it's not happening. But fair enough. Yeah, I got some stuff going on, videos eventually. But a tentative launch date for this new show that I'm doing, 4/20. So it's coming up, like 3 weeks. Hell yeah. Nice. It will rival MSK's before it's even out there. And then once it's out there, MSK doesn't stand a chance.
Sorry, I was looking at Instagram thoughts, do stuff.
Sure. Hey, Bob, what you got going on your channel, sir?
Well, let's see. Hopefully get a review out later this week. And otherwise, over on Dad's Turn to Dog, we'll have another episode out this week as well. Hopefully, a lot's going to depend on what comes out in the next couple of days with CinemaCon, and see what type of topics that we're talking about. Because right now, we tentatively want to kind of preview the Final Four, as well as we've been reviewing Daredevil Born Again as it's been coming out.
Do you like it?
I like it better than anything Marvel has brought out on Disney Plus so far, but it's not the Netflix show. So, I mean, just take that for what it is. But we'll hopefully review the next episode over there. And, but again, with some stuff coming out from CinemaCon, we might end up having to change a couple topics here and there. So we'll see what happens.
Same here. I know there's been some big stuff coming out. I'm just have to bookmark it all. We'll probably end up covering half of it on Wednesday and then covering it for next Wednesday. But I will say this. I love white people and Mexicans and Asians and Brazilians. Blacks are on the lowest part of that totem pole. Just letting you know that right now. But I like black people. I do. I like my Will Smiths, I like my
slap.
I'm just saying though, what was I talking about? I'm joking. I'm looking at Instagram stuff. I do. I celebrate Brave New World bombing. I sure do. No one wanted that shit. I don't want no Captain Africa, no Captain EBT. No one wanted it. Are you apparently crazy, man? Kevin, no one else wanted it either. No one else went and supported it enough. Wasn't just me. I went and watched it. I saw it. I reviewed it too. Just, no one wanted it. That's how the free market works. People get to decide what they want to spend money on, buddy. That's how it works, dude. It's not always battered in racism. What the hell you think about sometimes, dude?
I just wish, they could kind of look at films as amazing pieces of art. I think that's what those original cartoons were seen as. And I think they're just looked as products now, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it wasn't a mass consumable product that they're pushing out to the market. And instead it was art that actually they took time, developed, made sure that it was the best possible thing. But that's probably asking too much because the entire industry is different now.
Yep, it's all about content, not about making art.
Kanye West, MSK and racism, you falling off MSK. All right. So as for me, as you guys know, we have more MSK show episodes coming up this week. This week we'll be hitting 200 episodes. Like I said before, after this week, I have to let you guys know when shows are gonna be coming up. No, not this week. It's basically after this week, going into the next week, gonna be some small changes for that week because certain people won't be here because they're gonna go on and do other stuff really quickly, but they'll be back. Don't worry. I always have plans. I'm literally always thinking 3 moves ahead. I'm like Shikamaru from Naruto. I'm like 200 IQ, 5 moves ahead. Easy money there. I will. I've told you guys, I will. If Superman fails at the box office, I will say. Everyone knows me. I even shitted on my take for Sonic 3 losing to Mufasa. I said Sonic 3 was going to beat Mufasa, and I was wrong. I will for sure shit on Superman if it fails. Why would I not? I'm shitting on DC. Do we shit it on Joker for failing, actually?
And that's just because you didn't understand it. It's a good film.
Yeah, you enjoyed the first Joker movie the wrong way.
Right, yeah.
I actually didn't really enjoy the first Joker movie, but that second one, it hit me right where it was supposed to.
It was bad, but you and I have talked about it, Gray, and I.
We're not doing this again. No, he just does that great stuff. Good Lord. But no, if any movie fails, I'm shitting on it the same way, dude. I did this for every movie. Even movies that I've enjoyed, I'm like, you know what? This probably didn't make that much money. Like the Batman. People like the Batman, right? I don't think that really made any profit for Warner Brothers, honestly, if you really look at the numbers attached to it. But Yeah. So as for me, MSK show episodes coming up this week. Got some good one-on-ones. 200 episodes on the horizon. But the ultimate goal, the goal for this year is 300 episodes. The ultimate goal is 1,000 episodes. So when we get to the coveted 1,000, I can finally do the episode after that and go 1,001. Finally get my dream. God, I can finally be a Mexican.
You could do that at the start of every 10. You could go 80 Juan, 90 Juan.
It's fun, but it wouldn't be fun though. It'd make me more of a black guy. No.
Isn't that what you've been trying for your whole life?
Definitely not. I've been trying to be white. Being white is right. So thank you guys for tonight. Iron had to go run some errands. That's why he wasn't here. That's pretty much it.
Well, I think he deserves to rest. I mean, he had a 24-hour stream over the weekend, so he needs some time off.
He didn't make it. Remember, he got to 17 hours, and I was like, "Damn, that sucks." Though, when you're that deep in,
I'm rounding up. That happened to me. It's 17 hours. That's as far as I made it, and then my body kind of gave out and said,
if I ever did that, I would only do the maximum hours of YouTube. There's no way we could do one of these shows for 12 hours. The longest I ever did.
There's no way anybody could take 12 hours of MSK.
A lot of girls can take 9 inches from me. Just saying. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. We're going to see you guys later on this week. Good night, everybody.